where are you, Dan?
What's up?
Same stuff, different day.
So I'm playing with this, and actually, you're the two guys. I was afraid you were busy, and I don't know at what point you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Oleg's joining.
You're
the two guys I wanted to talk about. I'll go ahead and.
Oleg and I played with this earlier today already.
Hi there. I'll go ahead and post it publicly. So I am just now checking this out because I had to put a Lynchburg Times newspaper together yesterday and today, and I got it done, and then I took a nap afterward. I had to go to the bank and stuff. So I'm just now figuring out what's. I don't know anything yet. I've seen some pictures. I guess there's something with Bravo and.
Don't play the Bravo. Don't do the Bravo thing.
Yeah, me and Alan played. We lost.
Obviously,
we got a whole 3 points out of 30.
Huh?
We got a whole 3 points out of 30 on the Bravo app. Don't bother.
Yeah.
Oh well. Maybe I'm going to get really good at it so I can play Oleg. But no, okay. For tomorrow, for Friday's show, I guess we should lead off with the new stuff, this and the comments, right? And explain what they are and why they're important. What do you think?
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Friday,
He corrected himself. Yes. I mean, I think the... I think the... what am I trying to say?
That's not cool.
Oh, one of the things I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get some of my apps done and working and installed, so we'll be able to run some of our stuff.
Okay. Yeah, not our stuff, some of your stuff.
Well, okay, I'll call it my stuff, but if it says, Google Plus Week floating around the screen, then Dan gets to take some credit for it.
Wouldn't it be neat if, Oleg, you could do, what if you had a restaurant and they had a hangout going on 24/7 in the kitchen, right? And anybody could join it. Oh, he's gone and come back.
Who did we just lose? Chris?
I didn't realize that on-air Hangouts had the apps. I just tested that. And
Nobody knows this. I was surprised to see it too, but it's cool that it does.
Yeah, because I think Eric Rice was just talking about.
Yes, but Eric doesn't have Hangouts on air. So
yeah, that doesn't make any sense. He's verified and he's got more followers than the three of us combined.
It doesn't matter.
Is this a new thing, or is it just here?
Brand new.
Brand new. Released today. Hey, Chris.
Hey, how you doing?
The Hangout apps are utterly brand new, or at least publicly brand new.
That's weird. I was just in a Hangout. I was just in a Hangout like an hour ago, and I didn't have it. Then I joined your guys's, and it's there.
It was rolling out slowly earlier today, and they had a little bug.
Can you see me?
I think it's interesting that they let me invite.
Hello?
Yeah, I can see you and hear you. Are you there?
So there's some kind of bug. Sorry, Dan. I didn't mean to interrupt. I can't see myself. I don't even know what you see, what you don't see.
We see you.
Do I have any effects on me or not?
No.
You're not really moving that much, but I can see a flickering of light. Oh, and I wanted to explain the problem we had last week with on-air Hangout and why I went to the regular one. It turns out it was because Chee helped me out in a private thing, but it turned out that when you click invite, you get like a pop-over screen where you can invite people, and in the on-air Hangout, it would stay. It used to, after I'd click like callers one circle, which is you guys, right? And then after you guys are in, then I invite a broader group. But it used to, you'd click invite, and then it would do it, and then it would minimize or disappear. But it stayed up. It's a glitch. And I didn't realize that. All I had to do was click close, because I could see you, remember?
Uh-huh.
But I had this thing over there, and I thought close meant close the Hangout. Because I told him, I said, it's fine that way. It's kind of neat because you can invite someone, then if you find someone else. but just call it like close, back to Hangout or something like that, not close, so people know what it is. But that's what happened. It was working fine, sort of. I could have just hit the close button and I would have been fine. So I rely on you guys to talk about why the apps are important and what it means. I can talk about the commenting thing because I first encountered that on TechCrunch.
Well, we'll get into some debates on the commenting stuff, I'm sure. But no, like I said, I'm hoping to. We lost Oleg again.
He'll be back. He's having an issue, I guess. I don't know if it's hit him or because you're fine,
It's working. Yeah, I don't know. But I really am hoping to get an app going to so that we can demonstrate that this is really that we've got something going here.
Chris, are you there?
Yeah, no, I'm listening to you guys. I
okay.
mute when I type, but I'm interested in what you guys are talking about, so I'm just listening.
You're welcome to join in if you wish, or whatever, or not.
I was just clicking through some of these apps and just kind of reading about them.
Yeah,
don't try the Bravo one. That's
the Bravo one, no.
Yeah.
How come? You guys got a low score, so or is it?
It's slow and it's stupid and it's just annoying.
Yeah, they shouldn't have even put it in there.
What is it supposed to be, anyways?
Well, it's like a trivia show from Bravo,
okay.
from a bunch of entertainment.
Have you ever gone to trivia night at your local bar?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No, but it's from Bravo.
But
most of this stuff I'm getting is games or doodling things or effects. I still see the Google Docs, which is like more useful to me than anything.
Yeah, Google Docs has not been moved here. The drawing program, the sketching program, shared sketches, all of that stuff has been moved here.
Right.
The Google Docs thing is so huge.
I'm doing this right now, guys, with you on Chromebook.
Okay. Are you wireless, or you have?
I'm wireless, and I'm sitting in a room that doesn't have much light, so I'll turn on the light here. But it's interesting that it told me that even though I got the apps on this thing, it tells me that I can't use, for example, effects until I get the plugin reinstalled on the Chromebook.
Ah, yes, that makes sense.
So
the effects require. That's actually something that they mentioned today. The effects require the most recent version of the plugin. And so that's just the way that they're doing the effects now was a major improvement from the last version.
Yeah. Does it automatically update that?
Not always.
Because I don't recall it. I mean, other than the initial install, because my Hangout computer. I mean, I have multiple computers here for the show, right? So I have a specific. I have 2 computers for Hangouts or Skype or whatever. So I installed it initially, but I've never updated it that I know of. Does it just happen?
They always update on their own eventually.
Right.
But that rolls out the same way everything else rolls out in Google. So it may take a day or two to get the most recent plugin at any given time.
So I just lucked out then.
Also, some Chrome updates require you to do a relaunch or reboot of the browser, which if you want to do it immediately, if you force the issue, you actually have a button that says relaunch, which kills the current one and starts the new one. But normally people just, they reboot computers, do things like that, so it ends up being automatically done, so they're not even asked. But a lot of times I go in and I do about to see if they have a new version, and they say new version is installing, and then I get a button that says relaunch. So I can actually force it to relaunch. Right now I did install the plugin while Dan was talking, and so I thought, cool, it's not killing anything, it's installing, but still I'm not able to use effects, so I think, and then I did a refresh of the page, so it looked like I disappeared for a second probably to you, and then I came back, but it still says that you need the latest plugin, which means my guess is I have to shut down the Chrome completely and restart for it to work.
This is so amazing. I remember when we were teenagers, when you first got your car, if you needed to use a phone, you'd have to look for a phone booth and pull over. And here we are. Oh, my God.
No. I mean, it's amazing beyond belief. I mean that little thing that you posted today about the tacos being delivered by drones.
Oh, I saw that.
That's a good idea, isn't it?
It's a phenomenal idea, but you think it's such a far-fetched thing that it's just unbelievable. But in today's world, it doesn't look so far-fetched, especially after we read the article about the guy driving in driverless car from Google.
That's exactly what the analogy that I made. I was thinking that. I was like, man, if they could do this, they could design it so that they just had to put your address in, and the thing would just fly. They'd load it up, and it would fly up there, and probably use 50 cents worth of energy. Electric motor, very efficient.
But speaking of tacos, Dan,
and it would monitor. Don't lose your train of thought. It would monitor everything around it, so it wouldn't crash into anything else. And these things would just be buzzing around like Back to the Future.
And the beautiful thing...
It's not... I mean, the technology exists now. We have GPS.
And the beautiful thing is you can use the same drone to go to Afghanistan and drop bombs. So you use tacos in the States and use bombs in Afghanistan. Go ahead.
Forget it. No, drop tacos
way to kill the mood,
Afghanistan.
Yeah.
No, but Dan, did you see
Go ahead,
the video?
Alan, I'm sorry.
Dan, did you see the video Oleg was talking about with the driverless car? It is an incredible. It's an amazing video.
I saw one that was really cool where he's going real fast.
No. You've got to see
there's a huge delay on Alan's.
Oleg reposted it early. It's been reposted a dozen times today. It's a great video. I figured out it's got a surprise aha moment to it that I figured out at the beginning of the video.
Don't spoil it.
But it's good. You've got to see it.
He is delayed. He has a lag between his audio and video.
We have a huge lag between the way you talk and when we hear you.
Is that just him, or am I like that, or am I okay?
You're totally on the ball. For some reason, Alan's like that. I don't know how I am, but Alan's like way behind on audio.
It's on. Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't like I didn't have something installed right.
No, I can actually read your lips.
2, 3.
This is fine.
You're fine now, yeah.
Oh, we got Srik
so
in.
Cool.
It's time to shut down, guys. Srik is in.
Yeah, it's been great, guys. I'll see you later.
That was good.
The crazy East Asian guy.
No. Now look at the guy cleaned up. The guy got a haircut.
Right.
I know. He's looking good. He's looking good.
He's poorly lit.
All right.
He's
if you call me
backlight.
What's that?
You have massive your lighting like Alan's audio.
Much better. Yeah.
That's better.
Well, if you call me crazy Asian guy, what should I call Oleg?
No. This is Dan. I would never call you anything like that. Never. It's Dan. With his, anti-immigrant stance.
What are you talking about? I was born in Japan.
I was born in Japan.
But that doesn't make you
overseas. I didn't come to America until like the 9th grade. When did you come over?
Srik, when you hear comments from Alan on the show like these damn immigrants and things like that, you just start wondering about the guy.
Oh my God. People are gonna show up.
Alan never
recording this, Dan.
Everyone's gonna wear. This is going live. Yeah, I'm already getting comments. Yeah, we'll all be in hoodies Friday to protest Oleg's remarks.
Are you going to the Congress?
No.
Testify?
I'm waiting for that whole thing to play out because everyone's rushing to judgment.
Yeah, there's all kinds of.
I mean, every day, like now they showed, like I guess I read that the police report for Trayvon Martin said that he was had a broken nose and was bloodied, and then now ABC, I guess, bought the video, the surveillance video, and they came out with that where it shows that he looks fine and everyone's in a pleasant mood as they're bringing him into the police station.
No, but supposedly this witness guy said that. Trayvon was sitting on the guy beating him. So, he started listening to all these stories.
Apparently they said that his nose is broken.
Whose?
Zimmerman?
Zimmerman, yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know. I mean, I can't judge that. I wasn't there, and everyone's judging too quickly on this,
Absolutely.
I think that news broke yesterday, right? Till then, nobody really said about that and mentioned about it.
Now, I think today the ABC News video came out. I guess they bought.
Yeah, no, there's definitely more to the story than been told so far, and
I see that Alan is very active. With I just finished reading Alan's second tale.
My second what?
Tale. You wrote how many tales now? 2 or
3?
3.
I posted one each day.
Oh, the third one is about the problems which people are reporting.
The third one is engage.
Oh, when did you publish this? When did you post this?
I published it about 2 hours ago.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Alan's becoming the captain now.
Yeah.
Hey,
You want to get on the What's Hot list, Alan?
What was that, Dan?
You want to get on the What's Hot list? You just inspired me. Get a picture of Jean-Luc Picard and put new Hangout apps and put the word engage real big. That will be on What's Hot.
And by the side have a cat picture also.
You better hurry, because if Kermit is watching this, he's going to do it.
You got to go look at the one we did today. It has a picture of a cat wearing Picard's uniform.
That's it.
I figured that'll get me on the What's Hot list.
Absolutely.
Listen, I want to say,
up on Facebook.
Oleg, I got to say something to you.
What?
I was prepping for the. Okay, I talked to a radio guy. A buddy of mine he owns 2 stations now. He used to own a bunch. He's a consultant. Yeah. And I asked him to look at our show. And he said that in the beginning I was struggling for my intro, right? Because I'm ADD and I get distracted anyway. And that's true because I don't have a teleprompter. So
here you go.
Here's what happened. There you go. I'd love a teleprompter app, but it wouldn't work for Hangouts On Air because they'd see it. Well,
yeah, maybe.
Here's the deal.
No, we could do it.
I saw an exchange between Alan and you about Scoble's post, and Scoble is right. He has a right to his opinion.
Absolutely.
Okay? And he is no Google Plus hater by any stretch. He's repeatedly said he stopped blogging largely on his own site, and he blogs here, right?
Well, on that particular rant that we talked about, he did say he should have never left, and he said he was sorry he did leave his blog. So,
well, but then he says, like, I went off the list, and then he comes back and says that was a mistake. I mean, but your opinions evolve, and at least he's an honest guy who admits when he changes.
I'm not asking you to stop talking.
But listen, what I want to say is that you were really hard on me, and I think unjust. You have a right to be hard on me if you want, but I think it was a bit over the top because
why?
I saw your exchange with Alan where he was talking about Scoble, and you went in and like trashed Scoble's post.
Yeah.
Did you see Oleg's?
So I wrote. I knew that this would be good drama for the show.
Okay.
And I read Scoble's post, and I agree with some of the stuff.
Okay.
And you have a right. And I knew that you would come back with it's in beta, dumbass, right? And you would say it's not done yet, and they're you want them to major in the minors and all this stuff, right? So I knew it was going to be a good conversation about the hot post of the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
So I wrote this thing that was mainly just encapsulating what he had said.
Right.
And then I said a couple places in there. I said, well, I agree with this, and I did. I mean, I was clear. I agree with some of what he said.
Right.
But I love Google Plus.
Yes.
Or I wouldn't do this.
Yes.
I would never have met. I would not have had the pleasure of meeting.
I know, but here's the problem.
Like really beating me over the head over this,
Dan,
as opposed to disagreeing with my opinion.
Hold on. You absolutely have a right to your opinion. Scoble has his. Not a problem. So I'm assuming by the same token I can have mine.
Exactly.
And all I'm saying is you were trying to take a middle stand by saying, hey, there's some people saying this, some people saying that, whatever. But then at the end, you said he had all these points he made, and you read them off, and you said he nailed it.
He nailed.
Hold on.
I agree with what he said. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He said, I think, and I think he nailed it. Now, when you say I think, that's not just making an opinion, and it's an observation in general. That means that's the statement from you personally, because you said I think.
Correct.
When you say he nailed it, I don't know how you can disagree with somebody whom you're saying he nailed it.
No, but he nailed. It could be me. It could be that he nailed the concept of the debate. He nailed the debate.
No, I think I said what I said, and Oleg's right. I said I think he nailed it, and I said that on the post where you two were arguing.
Right. Right.
The whole reason I did that was for you. Because I knew you were going to go ballistic, right? But you didn't make the show.
No. What do you mean I was going to go ballistic?
I wrote I spent like an hour or more on that. And it was a well-written piece, you must admit.
And
I wrote it for Oleg.
Oleg is saying you said he nailed it on the original discussion that we were having, long before you wrote your intro piece.
Correct. And I think I wrote it in the intro piece. I think I added the intro
I don't
piece.
remember if you added it to the intro piece, but I wouldn't be surprised.
But I'm transparent. I mean, I didn't deny anything I wrote. You know.
No, it's cool. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that to me, a bunch of people on the show, including you and including other people, were basically bashing Google for all these different things that they did wrong without anybody making any comments, because I was gone, about how many things they did right was number one point I was going to make.
No.
Second point I was going to make is, you have, some comments saying like, the huge hole in the thing is API. And Pam, may God bless her, comes out of her knowledge of the subject or lack of it, saying, who the hell needs API? And she's right. For vast majority of people, the regular people, users, write API means nothing. That's not what people do, okay? They don't do write APIs. And so what's happening?
But the regular...
Yeah, but it's important to have the API.
Unless you're a developer, it means nothing to you.
No, it means everything to me. How do you
using
get
it,
my Hangouts, Canopy, and all that stuff? It's because developers are using it, and all these users will be able to benefit from it. It's very
not a write API.
Oleg, that's exactly like saying that the Hangout API has absolutely no use to most users.
In terms of them using the product, it's not the most important thing from their perspective, is what I'm saying.
He was making the point that there was no
most
API.
Users will not directly use the API.
I'll tell you this, Alan. I'll tell you this. Okay, if you're going to make a major point about missing features, I'll tell you what's ridiculous. And I'm doing a little bit of Google bashing here. You go to a profile, and you click on your picture. First of all, when you go to a profile, you have to click on a button to edit the profile, which is,
Hang on. Here's the thing. Google's sorry, let me start that over. Scoville's article wasn't about. Why are we doing this tonight and not Friday?
I don't know.
The only thing I wanted to make was I wrote that specifically for Oleg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he had weighed in, all but attacking the post, or he was attacking the post, clearly. Disagree with it vehemently, and I knew it would be compelling, and you would offer great arguments against what he was saying. And so I wrote that piece specifically for Oleg to lead the show. And at the last minute, you said you couldn't make it or you never showed.
Well, I had a client.
You attacked me for writing the damn thing. And I was like, I wrote it. I spent an hour and a half writing this thing for Oleg, and then he attacks me for writing it.
No, but explain to me, what does it have to do with the friend of yours from radio? I don't get it.
Oh, I was asking him, and he said that I should have a scripted intro, and I'm working on getting a teleprompter so I can be like, welcome to Google Plus Week. Many events happened this week.
I think at the very least you need to print it out and stick it next to the camera, because you looking down was a little bit odd. To read it was a little bit odd.
I'm trying to. I got to get a teleprompter, but it's a hassle.
I think
get an iPad.
What's wrong with doing it the way you're doing it, then without reading anything? You're doing fine when you do your own deal. Why didn't you?
No. I think it's okay to write an intro, to sit down and think about the theme of the show. And write an intro, just like you would see on any television show.
Then I would say get some little card.
Go ahead, Oleg. Can I just get a sense of where is the camera that records you, and where is the screen with the Hangouts? Relative to each other?
Camera is. I have one right now. I have 3 monitors up, but I have 5. But I have 2 of them in different. They're over there. But
okay, stare at the camera right now.
Yep.
Okay, now stare at Now stare at the screen where the Hangout would be. Okay, I think if you using the apps brought up the Google Doc with that information in that Hangout, I think you'd look fine.
And also, I would say
head is up.
Whoa.
Your eyes are up. I think that you've got a slight profile. But I think that'll be fine.
I'm going to get a teleprompter, so I'm looking into the camera and talking to the people watching. I mean, it's a show. We're not performing really, but we're doing a show.
I don't know what
Oleg is performing.
I don't know if I'm going to be there on Friday, to be honest with you.
Hey, just as a test, I decided to actually try what this Hangout was about, the apps, and now I can't get out of this cacao. I don't see anything else in my Hangout.
Exactly. I was trying to get out of that.
Okay, we can help you with that, although my machine is locked up at the moment.
How do you get out of the app?
Problems. Anthony can't get in.
No, here's what you do. And if I could, I can't. Well, Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. I can see you.
In the lower left-hand corner, click on where it says People and App.
Yeah. Yep.
Click on the app.
I'm on the. Okay.
Now you'll see the apps that you're running across there.
Exit.
If you
Close
hover
it.
over one, the little black hover.
Yeah.
And there'll be an X there, and that's how you close it.
Oh, that's stupid.
And there's an endorsement.
No, I mean, you'd never be able to figure that out.
Yeah. No, I had the same problem.
Any instruction? Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. When you look at that, because when you add the other app, right, the Google Effects, it's up on the toolbar on top.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you're right. It's a little bit, a little bit awkward the way they got it set up, but as long if you know what to do, add it to the Scobel list. That's all.
Yeah.
It is a little bit odd. I think this, however, gets to one of the points that I've been making in.
But I can't. Also, it asked me to upgrade the plugin, which I did, and it still doesn't work. It keeps on saying upgrade the plugin.
I'm on the cheapest computer you can possibly buy, this Hangout computer. I've got a fancy computer for Wirecast and for the show, but the Hangout computer is a $298 Walmart computer, and it works great for this.
That just means your plugin got updated. That's all.
Anthony Klaus was having issues coming in Hangout.
Well, I mean, first of all, I don't know if I'm going to be there on Friday.
What's up with Friday, Oleg?
Alan's a little bit under the weather, and then Anthony comes in and sneezes all over the Hangout. So I don't know if I hope I'm going to be okay for the Friday show.
I have allergies too.
And then
Oleg, there is no
Ben has
allergies. Cold. Trust me on this. Hey, Ben.
That's probably. Oh, hi.
What's up, man? How you doing?
A-okay.
He was pretty disappointed today because we got into this drawing thing, and then he draws, and all of a sudden Alan comes in, and he starts defacing my kid's art. And he just goes, what is this? And I didn't do it, guys. Grabs an eraser, starts erasing. It was so funny. That was great.
Horrible. I didn't even know there was something drawn there. There's a bug in the app.
But it turned out very funny. Very funny.
I'm not taking harmonica lessons, but I'm pretty good at it.
I like this one.
That works
definitely you, Sri.
I can't do sunglasses. You have to reboot the Chrome.
Oh yeah, it's a night, so I should change it.
Is that what he actually looks like?
This is what he looks like, yeah. In real life, he just takes it off to change his face, but that's what he really looks like.
Oh, look, try that mustache.
I can't. My browser doesn't have the plugin right now, so I need to get out of the Chrome and get back in.
I wonder if I do it, will it show what what will happen on the broadcast part?
Actually, let me go ahead and get out and get back in. Let me see if I can fix it. Okay, bye.
Let's find out, Dan. I'm pretty sure that what's going to show is just anything that edits the video stream.
Well, I can watch
everything.
So if I invite somebody, they're not going to see that.
This is dumb. Why would anyone want this?
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing the hats and stuff.
Guys, trust me. Let me show you my app, which I am trying to write as we speak.
You're writing an app
but I can't test
in the Hangout while we're talking about apps?
And I will show you. Of course I'm writing an app.
Why are you talking like you're in a translated Godzilla movie? Or
because that's how apps work.
No, you're out of sync again. Yep.
I know I'm out of sync.
You have like some kind of dial-up internet or something. What's your deal?
Yeah, but see, we're gonna have to open it up from your Hangout though, right? To run the app.
No, Jeff.
Oh, Sri, is that your kid, Sri?
Good.
How come? Now, what makes the app?
Yeah, that's my son.
I thought
It just at some point it picks which set of eyes to follow. Nobody quite knows how it picks that.
Maybe because he's already got glasses on, so it figures he doesn't need new glasses.
But Jeff,
you're breaking up, Alan.
I can't hear anything, Alan.
The Hangout button.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but isn't that how you actuate your own app?
I've only just today switched from the line text to the actual Hangout button again. For a month or so, it just said start your own Hangout with text.
Yeah. Alan's muted.
Oh no! There's something new. Can you guys hear me? Even if I'm out of sync?
Yeah, you're breaking, going in and out.
You're having major issues, Alan. I mean, it's like
You're breaking
I
up
know I'm having
sometimes.
major issues, but
This is like the early Nightline reports from Russia, where
Okay.
there was like a minute delay between the video and the.
let me kill this. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
You coming back? Okay.
Papa,
What's that?
you know your passcode?
You know, Dan,
Very
talking
wrong
about the
there.
teleprompters.
Go ahead,
Hey, Dan,
Anthony.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I can't see you though.
no.
The black screen.
Silly.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Let me try this. Neil Laporte was talking about the teleprompters thing when he opened up his new studio, and ultimately, I think his decision was that the teleprompters more inhibited him than helped him.
I mean, the thing is, if you have a list of specific topics you're going to talk about, I don't know. I mean, there are times when you want it. There are times when you don't. There are times when it's a relaxed show, but certainly at the beginning of the program, when you're trying to capture an audience, it'd be nice to have. I mean, look at the best, like all the people at O'Reilly on. If you're a Republican, Bill O'Reilly or Sean Hannity. If you're a Democrat, Rachel Maddow. They're all the best at what they do, and they all have a nice, well-written thing, and they're looking at the screen and talking to the audience and saying, here's the layout for the show. This is the main theme that we're going to, kick off with. And you kind of do your...
I think the problem is that with like a teleprompter, you have to have not to suggest you don't have control of the show, but you have to have a complete control of the show. And with a roundtable discussion that continues to be a roundtable discussion the entire episode, it's tough to reestablish that complete control. Where
I'm not after complete control.
These news.
Yeah.
Well, right,
No,
I know you're not. But
I'm after I want to do a 90-second to 3-minute intro that kind of frames what we're going to talk about, and not have to look down at a piece of paper, and then throw it to the room, and then
right, and
show.
It's kind of hard to get back to that point where these news shows, they have segments, so they can they can exit the one segment and go into the next segment with new guests. Well,
typically, you're right. Typically,
everyone wants to continue talking over you.
Typically, you start a segment on the teleprompter, and you have a pre-scripted thing, and then you have your guests who are talking heads, right? Experts, whatever you want to call them.
I'd watch it.
And you do your thing. Like the Friday show is going to be great because we actually have guys who do this. We're talking about a subject that they're experts in.
But
Alan's writing an app as we speak. I mean,
unbelievable. Yeah, well, actually, I was going to ask about that. Hey, Alan, so do you think we're going to have something? You're going to have a Dumplay Friday or not?
Yeah, I think so.
I can go ahead and announce it? Or is that not?
Yeah.
You guys have, I've already shown screenshots of it.
What is your app? May I ask?
This is, let me see if I have the screenshot for it.
It's called the robot host of the show. We're going to replace Dan with Alan's app.
that's awesome. Can we make it so that Oleg hugs every guest?
No, what I was going to say.
I don't know. Some things are just absolutely impossible, Dan.
No. Here's the deal. Look at this. I said, why don't we have an effect that looks like this?
Yeah, aimed at Dan's thumbnail at the bottom, yeah.
There you go.
So where's it, Alan?
I'm working. Hang on a second. I'm trying to find the screenshot that I made of an earlier version of it. Here we go.
And this is
That's a very
some
good
kind
drawing,
of children's app. I think you mentioned something about you writing some for kids. Hangout API.
Yeah.
So what is the
It's going to put that over a screen overlay.
Well, what it does, if you look on the left-hand side of it, I don't know how well you can see it. This is actually an early version.
Got it.
It basically lets you. It's nothing, no huge big deal, but what it does is it lets you write some text and then put that text over your picture.
Oh, so it's like bottom third. Very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
basically it's a lower. The problem with it right now is that it's a lower third, but I can't leave it at the lower third.
That's
it
okay.
follows your face around.
Oh, it does.
Is this with the new Hangout API or?
It's the one just came out. But now you have to. Don't you have to launch it through the Hangout button?
There are a variety of ways to do it, but yes, you'll need to launch it through. At least I will need to launch it through the Hangout button, and then other people will be able to launch it using other means. But that's the right way to do it. That's why the button is there.
It moves with you?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. Yep.
And this doesn't use the most recent Hangout API. It uses the last developer version that we had control over. But it will use the Hangout. It will be using the new one as soon as I'm done with it.
Excellent.
It's not too big a change, but
so
there's
cool.
a change.
I'm seeing a post that the taco copter is fake. Wired says, but I don't care. I still think it's a genius idea, and they could do it.
I think it's a great idea.
Come on, do you actually trust Wired for anything?
They said it's a great name, the taco copter. I mean, the article, I read it, and it was like wasn't sourcing anything. And so I posted it. I said, this is a great idea. It is a great idea. Even though,
Absolutely.
you know, if that thing, I mean,
especially if
it's
you
not
combine it
that far-fetched.
Especially if you combine it with my idea of using it also in military cases when needed. So you can go and drop, food to your troops, and then you keep flying further and drop bombs. And
on the way back, so you save half the fuel. Because
exactly. I mean, it's perfect.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Drone dinner delivery. We'll start a new business.
Just when you think you could take him out of Russia, but you can't take the Russian out of him.
yeah, something like that.
Did you guys read this? Google self-driving car allows the blind to drive.
Streak? Shush. Oh, you weren't here when we told Dan to watch that video, were you?
What's that?
We told Dan to watch the video, but we didn't give him the punchline. And he wasn't paying attention anyway.
No, I wasn't. Sorry.
Not you, Dan. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
I hear you and see you now. You're having an internet bandwidth issue, or something's going on, or
No,
maybe you're compiling.
now.
Are you compiling your app at certain times?
I don't think it's a bandwidth issue, and no, I'm not compiling the app too much because it says my CPU isn't maxed out yet.
Yeah. The other thing with these, getting back to our topic thing, once you add an app, it doesn't stay on your. Once you close it out, you have to re-add it each time. It's not like
you don't have to re-add it, but you do have to restart it. And
you have to restart it. Yeah.
Apps are for.
On the top, next to the screen share, it actually shows two apps, right?
Right. It shows. Well, what it shows there are your currently running apps. That way, you can quickly switch to the app.
Right.
It actually.
No, it doesn't work like that. But yes.
No, what are those? Because that's a sample app. Oh no, those aren't apps. Those are what do they call them? They're actually two kinds of apps.
Right, that's what I was trying to say. The ones they published to the Hangout is basically from Google. And I think I'm gonna see a lot more apps there on the top.
No. What's up on the top are? Hang on a second. What's up on the top are what they call
actions.
No, hang on. I'm trying to find the right name for them. And you don't. Oh, extensions.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense because my Hangouts puts capture moment on there.
So you think that in the future we won't be seeing more extensions? I think it will be lined up from.
We will be seeing more extensions, yes.
Right.
And they won't necessarily be coming from Google.
And these ones, I don't think you have to really launch them every time. It's already kind of there.
Yes, you will have to launch them every time.
The apps you have to launch, the extensions look like they're going to be there.
No.
Yeah, the moment you click them, it doesn't ask for anything. It just starts off.
No. For example, I added Google Effects, right?
Right.
That put it in the extension toolbar above the Hangout.
Probably it's a first-time thing.
No.
No.
Once you start an extension, it stays there for the duration of in the Hangout, but it goes away when you leave the Hangout.
No, that's incorrect. It was there when I started to back up again.
It stayed there.
It stayed there. Yes.
So basically,
hold it. Let me finish. Because I actually did this, right? So I added Google Effects, and then I had to update my plugin, right? Because it said it doesn't work with this plugin. So then I closed it out. Reinstalled Google Talk plugin, brought it back up. Effects was still on the toolbar.
You see, when I was in a Hangout with Oleg earlier, I ran an extension, and it wasn't running when I came into this one.
Well, I know like this capture moment extension is on all the time. I mean, I just
that's from My Hangouts though. You have My Hangouts?
Yes, I have My Hangouts. Yes.
That's capture moments from that.
Right, but that's right. But it adds it to maybe okay. Because
So I'm guessing the moment you
Chromebook, I cannot get into the new plugin. It does mean you need to upgrade, but even though I upgrade, because there's nothing, you cannot close Chrome on Chromebook. So I guess short of shutting it down, I don't see how I'm going to make it work.
It occurs to me, what is the Chromebook based on?
In terms of what?
No, because it occurred to me that I noticed that they said that the plugin is available for Windows and Mac, but they didn't say it was available for Linux.
Well, it says it says it's installing it, verifying it. Ben, перестань.
I want to.
Installing it, verifying it, and then it says it's done. So basically, to me, it says like it's installed, but I think what it needs for Chrome to be restarted, but they can't do it without shutting the machine down. Because the machine is
Chrome. Actually, when I did mine, I physically had to.
You have to pull the plug from the wall. I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, there's some. Let me draw your attention to some comments on the player. Jason Salas in Guam. He said from KUAM News. He pointed there's a good link to look at on publishing Hangout apps, and frankly, a lot of it's beyond me. But Alan can sing its praises, and I'm sure he's aware of it. And then George in the Netherlands, great comment. So yesterday, Google sucked because it didn't have apps in Hangouts, and today is the greatest thing on earth because it has.
Exactly. Thank you, George. That's exactly was my point.
My faith in humanity would be restored if Alan's app would be an enhanced Hangouts mask maker.
Well, that's essentially what it is.
No disrespect.
That's awesome. That's funny.
It's great that Alan got this done. It's great. We'll show.
I love George Cozy's comments.
Well, George Cozy had a brilliant idea today about writing stories. Did you see that? Did you see his post on that?
Yeah, the what was that? A chart which he drew?
Well, he drew the chart, but basically the idea is to have a story that can have multiple variations and multiple. In other words, so as you read the story, you actually are able to go to different paths in the story based on your selections. So it's not a totally novel idea, but at the same time, the way he presented, the more I thought about it, the more I thought this is a really cool idea to implement. So instead of clicking on next page, you're actually clicking on maybe, in my view, it should be no more than 2, maybe 4 buttons that give you like a headline to go to somewhere else, and then you basically wind up having multiple versions of the book.
Hey Oleg.
Yeah.
Go to a site.
Yeah.
www.adventure.com.
No, put it in the chat.
Yeah, I'm trying. I just.
Yeah, maybe some of this exists. I don't know. He wrote about it. I thought it was.
I skimmed his idea when he first posted it and didn't get back to reading more. What I found neatest about his proposal is the graphical nature of how the site should be presented. I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay.
The concept of reading a story and navigating through different paths through the story, go look at adventure.com.
And hey, Alan, I had to apologize. I didn't realize I didn't have you in my circles.
Yeah, I saw that. I was surprised.
I'm going like.
I saw the question. I'm like, really?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I didn't.
Block.
No, I saw his comment, and I'm going like, hold it. Why am I getting this from somebody else? And then I looked and go, I just assumed that he was in my circles. I don't know why.
Anthony, can you at least have audio?
Yeah, I think so. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know why the video is not playing. I've never had this problem before.
The one thing's fixed. That Lori was noting that it was a black square if your camera wasn't working, but I see Anthony has consistently got his odd logo up.
No, if I turn off the video like I just did, does my icon go away?
No, it stays on.
Your icon's on. What is that, by the way?
That's your profile page picture.
But what is that a picture of?
Oh, it's just something I made up. There's the American flag and it says Rochester underneath it. It says number 20 in Wambach.
What does number 20 in Wambach mean?
Abby Wambach, she's she's a big women's soccer player for the U.S. national team.
So that's her number? Her number's 20?
Yeah, that's her jersey number.
Okay.
I know Oleg's a big women's soccer fan, so he could fill us in.
No, I'm not. Soccer, yes, not women's soccer.
Football.
Football, yeah. See, I told you, Srik. You see that? The guy starts making fun of my accent. I mean, it's just on and on. It's a non-stop deal. I have to put up with abuse. You know, I'm almost considering hiring a lawyer, but you know, it hasn't gotten that bad.
I pick on you affectionately, with affection, but you mercilessly.
Yeah, and then he uses this as an excuse. But everything else is okay because it's affection.
You know, I got to tell you, Oleg, it's a Russian thing. We got a old Russian lady that, well, she's not even Russian. She's from the Ukraine. She's picked on all the time.
Well, did you guys see Oleg's Zealot comment?
Which ones?
Zealot.
Yeah, you've been posting a lot lately, Oleg.
I have?
Yeah. More than normal. Yeah, and they're not pictures.
You know, sometimes it comes out of me. After listening to Obama whisper something to Medvedev, I figured, you know, I need to do more.
What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts?
It happens all the time.
My thoughts?
Yeah.
He shouldn't even be on the ballot in the next election. That's my thought.
God, gee, holy moly!
I'm sure all presidents do that. I mean,
totally.
What about this? You don't say stuff like this, Rick. Okay?
No. Oli, what about the French president or the German chancellor?
You do not say stuff like that. Exactly.
No, but he said that. What did he say that? Netanyahu is a liar. You know, so it's like Obama just shakes his head. You know, these guys talk like this all the time.
And it's realistic to say there's nothing to that. That's
you know, I think Obama probably says things that he really shouldn't be saying. Is, you know, not just as a president, he shouldn't be saying.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
He shouldn't have been caught saying, give me a break. He was having
every president.
Presidents were talking, having a conversation that
exactly.
any two presidents would have.
George Bush had those
I'll
moments.
bet you anything.
Exploited by his enemies. Who cares?
At his level, at his club, you know, talking to national leaders at his level, they probably have chit-chats like how friends have here. You can think about him as a president, right, but when he's talking to another president from another country, maybe they have a different kind of conversation. And, yeah, it leaked. So I'm pretty sure George Bush said something very similar to, what was his name, the British Prime Minister at that time?
I'll bet you won't find a single recording of this kind from Reagan. Not a one.
So what did he say?
Oh, we're going to start bombing Russia in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What?
We're going to bomb Russia in 10 minutes.
That's okay. That's a legitimate statement.
I think
Obama say?
Yeah.
I think Bush said something about Syria to Tony Blair, I think.
I wouldn't have any problems if some things were said with American interest. In other words, maybe unfair from other people's perspective, but not from American. Then I wouldn't have any problems. But when you make comments like this, give me a break.
What? His comment is realism.
Hey.
It's realistic.
Oleg, Cozy.
After the election, he'll have more leeway.
Why do you think he'll have more leeway? Why do you think he's going to have more leeway?
Did you listen to?
He's a lame duck president. It happens on every 2-year president. Same story. You know, and then here's the other same story. Here's the other same story. Ready for this? This election is the most important election in our time, in our history.
Like every other election.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
it's all BS. I mean, like Boehner saying like he's disturbed by Obama's. Who gives a crap? You know.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just trying to deflect whatever. But
Obama's already a lame duck president. Like, what's he done? I mean, seriously, what has
besides save the economy?
Done?
Let's
won
see.
the Nobel Peace Prize.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
It killed Osama bin Laden.
Hang on, give me 10 seconds.
Obama did not kill Osama bin Laden. The Pentagon killed Osama bin Laden.
It doesn't make a difference.
You know,
it's on his watch. He gets the credit for it.
Oh, okay. I mean, come on.
The real credit goes to George Bush, but he gets the
Anthony?
credit. Okay.
There's my hand to shake.
Look, it was a ballsy, risky move.
Absolutely. No,
He's the only one that
It was.
he's the only one in the room that said, "Let's do it."
Those are times.
But it's not. I mean,
No, those are times when you shouldn't care if it's a Republican or Democrat president.
Exactly.
It's a commander in chief, and it was a ballsy move, straight up. Republican,
I
Democrat.
agree, but come on.
It was a
The
ballsy
general
move,
comes into
risky.
the Oval Office and he says,
it
"We
could've
can
gone.
do this."
One of the helicopters went down. They told that to Jimmy Carter, and there was a disaster when they tried to rescue the hostages. Could have been a disaster. It was a ballsy move, and he made the call, so good for him.
Authorizing
The heroes are those soldiers who did it.
Yeah,
Those
exactly.
are the heroes.
But
I saw a list of 200 achievements from Obama. Are you guys saying it's all fake?
Well, I mean, one of the
I like
achievements,
Obama. I think
we can,
Obama's delivered, actually.
we can give, each one through 10 points. And, I mean,
He did
come
what
on.
he said he was going to do. The people voted him in. He did what he said he was going to do. And his
What did he say he was
signature
going to
piece
do?
is about to be thrown out by the
slow
Supreme
down.
Yeah,
Court.
he's like, we're gonna close
Hold on.
Guantanamo Bay. What has he
Like the
done?
healthcare thing, he railed about that. I
Right,
mean,
which
he's
isn't
a
gonna,
politician.
exist in 8
He's a
years.
smooth-talking politician,
If not
just like
one.
the last smooth,
No,
not so smooth-talking politician. George Cozy says Alan is a professional pessimist.
I'm a professional realist, George.
Obama's
No,
pragmatic.
with affection, though, Alan. He says, I sometimes secretly think of you as a professional pessimist, but I may be wrong.
Isn't that term curmudgeon?
Yeah, that's it.
I think this is like the McLaughlin group.
Yeah.
I gotta say that I would love to sit down and have dinner with the person Obama. Not the president, but I would love to sit down and have dinner
I
with
love to sit down with Condoleezza Rice.
Barack Obama because he seems like a great person. But
That's all.
I don't think he's a great president. I don't think he's a terrible president. I don't even think he's a bad president. But I don't think he's.
Who do you
I
think
definitely
was
don't
great-
think
who
he's
do
a
you
great
was
president. I don't think he's a good president.
Let me toss that out. Who was a great president?
Well, come on. I've only been, I've
Great
only been alive, basically for the end of.
Washington was a great president.
No,
the
say in
first
your
Bush.
lifetime.
He wouldn't have
In
won
your
a third
lifetime.
term, Oleg.
I think Lincoln was.
In my lifetime, I would say Reagan was the best president in my time that I've been here, and I've been here since 78. So basically, since Carter was kicked out.
How would you like to hear me say the word Clinton?
Yeah, I mean,
Clinton was a great president. He doesn't get sued, man.
As the best president?
Here's my confusion. Google as a company sounds very partial towards the Democrats. How do you relate to that?
No, but see, it's Rick. That's okay. There's not. I mean, look at Gates. I have very little respect right now for Microsoft. Before I had some respect, but when I was in my Amiga days, Microsoft was the enemy. I mean, this was the people you don't deal with because they, after releasing Amiga Basic, they didn't do anything for Amiga. So it was always this anti-Microsoft stance. But at the same time, I'm telling you, I have a tremendous admiration for the man.
Oh,
for what he's doing right now. How many people he's helped in other countries and in the States, how many libraries he built, what he's doing for kids' health. The guy is basically a saint, okay? He doesn't beat his chest saying he's pro-Democrat or anything like that, even though it's known that he's a liberal guy. He's a liberal guy. But the guy, I have nothing but admiration for Gates.
It's funny because his dad's a Republican, isn't he?
I don't think
His
so.
dad's still living.
Oh, his dad is still living.
Yeah.
He's the best ex-CEO I've ever heard of.
No. Gates. I mean, the guy,
great.
he's always calm. He doesn't jump. He doesn't. I mean, to me, between like their, make deals, make you rest in peace, so to speak. But jobs and stuff. I mean, there's no comparison between the two guys in terms of how they deal with people and everything else. I think I went to a circus once. It was a French circus in town, and I was standing like 5 feet away from Gates. There's no entourage. There's no limos. There's no bodyguards, machine guns. None of that stuff.
No, just a sniper on you.
In the world.
Yes.
Yeah, at least he was at the time. And he's just a regular guy, and I respect that about him, and I respect everything he's doing. He's in the organization. So the guy's a stand-up guy, no question about it.
So Zuckerberg, he kills everything he eats. Yeah. Okay.
There was an article today about how Zuckerberg kind of pisses off the investors on Wall Street. He doesn't even care to actually go into meetings with them. Yeah. He's more like the Amazon CEO. Jeff.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, look at the Google boys. They certainly didn't like any of this corporate BS.
Yeah,
I mean, they didn't hire a CEO for a long time.
Who do you think is the most arrogant CEO?
When they did
Larry Ellison.
Larry Ellison, buddy.
Yeah.
What about that airline guy?
The airline guy.
The
You mean,
JetBlue pilot.
The Virgin guy?
The JetBlue pilot who flipped out.
No,
Richard
the
Branson?
airline
Richard Branson?
CEO. What's that company that?
Branson? Richard Branson?
No.
Oh, you're talking about
I'm not paying
It's
attention.
a budget
Icon?
airline.
which one?
Icon?
JetBlue guy?
I remember. It was just in the news. You guys don't read the news.
The
The
JetBlue guy?
JetBlue pilot.
No,
Yeah,
the
Blue Pilot,
airline,
no.
the CEO of an airline, and they're constantly getting beat up on consumerists and all these places because they introduce these ridiculous fees and.
Who cares about him? The JetBlue pilot sounds much more interesting. Hey, Sheila.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now he's charged criminally.
He's feeling a little blue now.
Oh, we got Sheila over here. I thought it was Pam that came in. Because she keeps putting on these different outfits.
Sheila's actually doing a hangout discussion there. She's testing these apps.
Yeah.
Sure, this is actually for a king, not for a queen. So you need to change that.
What?
You're a
This is
pirate
actually for
queen.
a king, not for a queen.
Oh. There you go.
There you go.
Now you look like Dan.
Uh-huh.
With glasses on. Dan, what's the deal with glasses? I thought you were using the Hangout effects. Because we never see you in glasses.
You ever seen Dan in glasses?
I wear glasses.
You do?
Usually after the hangout, after the Friday hangout, right?
That picture that I put of you in my post with that chick, there were no glasses there. So I thought, that's my main example of picture of you.
Yeah, late in the hangout, I'll be like in a t-shirt and glasses.
You'll be in a robe.
Well, it said that was.
Larry.
It said you were trying out the new effects on air, so here you go.
There you go.
Looks good.
Look.
Yeah.
We need to be careful. Next thing you know, Obama will come into a Hangout with this thing on.
You know, do you think that these things that cover up your face and whatever will get more people eventually to use Hangouts that would otherwise be uncomfortable with their faces being on camera?
No. It's a legitimate point.
For
Very
kids,
possible.
the novelty
Very
item.
possible.
Oh, let's make Hangouts fun.
Well, no, I'm not even talking about fun. I'm just talking about hiding
You could
yourself.
toggle what Anthony's doing, where you could
Actually,
thumbnail and not my image.
actually, I can hide myself, so when a troll comes in, they won't have to see my real face.
There you go.
If you
idea.
turn your camera off, what happens? Let me see. What happens to me?
Oh, it goes
But-
black. You'll get a
Goes
black.
black.
It goes black.
Then how come Anthony is got his thumbnail up?
Because
You
you
know,
don't have camera at all.
I think when Google does not recognize a video feed coming in at all, it will show your profile picture. But when they think that there's a video feed at least supposed to be coming through, and you turn off your camera, you get a black screen.
Right.
But I don't know if that's a fact, but that's what I'm
No, it is.
figuring out.
See, Anthony fully understands Obama and how this plug works. Both of them.
That should be a default option. If you turn your camera off, it should switch to your profile pic.
Yeah.
So at least
It
if you're
should.
talking,
But I don't know how to turn it off.
Well, on top.
You yank the cord. Whenever you have any problems, you yank the cord. That works.
These special effects, do they show up on Hangouts on Air?
Now you just turned off your video, and I'm seeing some icon, which is probably your profile icon, Sheila.
No, now she's got her menu cam deal.
Yeah.
yes, Sarik, this
How's
is a
that?
Hangout on Air, and it has the apps in
Yeah,
it,
that's on my menu.
which I didn't realize, and that's the only reason
Yeah.
I started it, other than to see Oleg's charming, gaze.
Son. Yeah. My son.
But I was testing it, and I saw the apps, and so then I shut it down and started again and said, hey, let's test the apps, and did
That
one.
reminds me, Dan. A post that someone else made today made me remember that there is a way to have a sort of public invitation to a Hangout on Air.
Oh, you just copy the URL, right?
Just
Right.
talk to the
Post
URL.
It's not.
But is that a violation of the terms?
No?
No, they still get the terms.
No,
They'll get
what I
the
mean
invite.
is that a violation of, because, like,
Well, I've seen
am
Google
I
do
breaking the rules?
it. I've seen
No,
Google
it's
do
nice,
it.
yeah. By the way, when I was in the Hangout today with a lady from
Chee,
Google. I can't
you were
remember her
hanging
name
out with
was.
Chee, you think?
No.
Yeah,
no.
EasyJet.
No,
Or
she
who's right there?
left. But anyway,
No.
I was
You
hanging
still,
out.
you still
asked-
have. Go ahead.
I asked him about the chat, Dan, if they would let us have a chat so everybody globally can participate.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that they're definitely working on something because many people asked for it, but it's not going to be coming out with this release, which obviously we can see that it didn't. So that's one topic I wanted to mention. Another thing is I asked about the ability to embed, because Alan and I kind of briefly touched the other day about the, about the vanity URLs, basically. And so, the point was made that, who needs vanity URLs, Alan was saying, when you can use your own domain name, which makes perfect sense. I mean,
that's not a big priority for me because,
no.
like you said, you can buy a domain and redirect.
But what do they say about embedding the Hangout?
The point was, if you have a brand name, that's preferably the name you would advertise. You're not going to advertise something else. Was the point Alan was making, which is a valid point. The problem is that unless you have embeds, there's too many services that do these things, and so it's impossible to have. I mean, if they don't provide embeds, there is no other way to do it other than with. It's better to have vanity URL than have what we have right now. Basically, was my point.
On the chat, what they should do is just move the picture over a little bit to the left and have the private chat on the left and the public chat on the right. And then the public chat is visible to the people watching the on-air hangout.
Guys,
and anybody
can have apps now.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hey, Alan, you mentioned that you can actually share you can pick up the URL for a public hangout, right? I mean,
you missed my point. You missed my point a moment ago. We have apps now.
No, I heard that.
We can use those apps to chat with people outside.
You have to look at the API and make sure it supports that, but yeah.
Yeah, I've been looking at the API for 2 months. Trust me, it does.
I signed up for it. I kind of looked at it. So.
Okay. I'm glad I made Jeff laugh.
Thanks for dropping in.
See you later.
But it looked like there was a lot of camera. If they have a microphone,
there is. There's a lot of. I mean, mostly it focuses on stuff that you do inside a Hangout.
Yep.
The question is, who do you chat with? I mean, you said you can embed a chat application, but who do you chat with actually? I mean, is that your friends list?
Who's on the other end of it? It does. Once you're writing an app, it's whoever's on the other end of it. You control what you want that app to do. That's the beauty of programming.
Right, but see, the app is visible to everybody in the Hangout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, right now the way it works is you have to actuate the app. If you build an app, you have to do it from the Hangout button that's on you're going to create and call that app. Yeah. That's how it's now.
No, but it might be a deal where they provide the URL. If you can provide the URL and if you can invite public, then maybe they will give you access then to all the users in public where you can. I don't know yet how they're going to do it. I'm just saying one of the things.
What they're going to do is they're probably added the apps to their Google Play apps, store, and then you add your app in there, and then you download it, and everyone downloads that app.
That's public stuff, yeah. But they also have apps you don't have to put into any store. You can just, load them for that particular session.
Interestingly, for app developers, we need to, if we're going to release an app publicly, we have to register with the Chrome store.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the Google Play store.
I see, Chrome store, yeah.
So we're not offering our apps through it currently, but we have to register there.
But I had to register it as a developer, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I did that, and I started to look at you download the XML file, and then basically start playing with it.
Do you think that the fact that you have to register through the Chrome store has something to do with having compatibility with Chromebooks?
No, but it has to do with Chrome probably.
I assume they're aiming. Yeah. Well, I assume it's more the Chrome store is more oriented towards serving things over the web or serving things that are web-based, as opposed to the Play Store, which is controlled by the Android people.
Right.
Right. That's true.
Well, the books and the music and maybe some other things, movies, are not Android things. At least the books are not Android, right?
No, but here's the thing. Those are all controlled by the Android group inside Google.
Okay, they are.
Chromebooks are not.
Actually, interestingly enough, Alan, do you know what's the deal with apps on Androids? Is there going to be anything like that or not?
I raised that issue with them
But they opened
came out, and they kind of hemmed and hawed and said, well, you know, that means you need to write your app for Android.
I see.
And I said, sure, I'll do that. And they hemmed and hawed and never really answered me.
So yes, right now, there's not going to be any kind of apps on Android, at least not with this release or anything.
Right now, no. Well, the biggest reason is that the plugin isn't. It's done completely differently on Android and iOS.
I see.
It's not a plugin there. It's a completely different component. Just how they're doing it is completely different.
It was interesting. By the way, did you? Because I don't think you were. Were you there when I was driving and I was in the Hangout?
Yes.
Okay. So that was pretty amazing in terms of watching how the thing would actually work. Where I had a 3G connection, well, 3G and a half, I should say. And you know, some people were popping in and out in terms of being their profile pictures versus live video. But still, I could hear everybody pretty well. And it was amazing to me that actually it did work as well as it did.
We could hear you also pretty well. Till you kind of got out of the Hangout. You know, it was surprising. I actually mentioned it, I think, that you were on 3G and we could still hear you pretty well.
Right. Yeah, and then the video, you know, the whole deal. Somebody from Google wrote me later and indicated that it's probably not a good idea to drive and be in a Hangout at the same time, which, you know, makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing as hands-free, right? I mean, come on.
Well, it is, yeah. Well, I guess the idea is, I mean, I wasn't looking at the screen, so obviously for obvious reasons, because that would probably not work too well if I was looking at the screen.
So Halo 4, the new Tomb Raider. Oh yeah, that looks.
Very nice.
Things inside.
Okay, so I'm looking at the API right now, and I'm almost through it. There's only one thing about chatting right now, and that's to make it visible or not.
But so what?
Well, I'm just saying there's nothing to put in there.
Well, even if you can visibly show the chat from the actual post itself, you're done.
No.
But so, Jeff, so what?
Yeah.
Jeff, listen to me. I can write an app. I can put part of that app, a little scrolling text area. I can have a place where you can enter stuff in that, and I can have that chat window populated with data that people are typing in over on my website.
No, but I'm saying I don't think you can. I don't think you can be.
I know I can, Jeff. I know I can.
Okay.
Take it easy. You almost broke the screen there.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the calls here.
Jeff.
Yeah.
The Hangout API only tells you what you can do in the Hangout.
How's that for evangelist?
The neat part about the API is it's just JavaScript. Anything you can do in JavaScript, you can do in a Hangout app now. If you can write a chat application in JavaScript, you now have a chat application.
No, but I think Jeff was talking about which users are you talking about and how they have access to it from that standpoint.
Well, what I'm saying is, and I can broadly picture this.
Yeah.
You go to a website.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's call it danmcdermott.com. Do you have danmcdermott.com, Dan?
I have danmcdermott.net, thanks to one of our guests.
Okay. You go to danmcdermott.net. Okay?
Yep.
You go to participate in the link that says participate in the show that only shows up when Dan is actually, when Dan is running the Hangout.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You go there. It says if you want to join in the chat, click here. You click here, and it presents a chat window with the chat that's going on.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't bring you into the Hangout, but it's the chat that can communicate with the chat that's inside the Hangout.
No, but okay.
No.
But those
now, let me ask you a specific question.
What those of us that are in the Hangout have done is we are now running this chat application, and it's also talking to the website and exchanging the chat information.
But see, right now, I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm looking at the different classes that are in the API here, right?
Jeff, it's got nothing to do with the Hangout API classes.
Yeah, but that's what, for example, what you're using is you're using, right, the face tracking overlay class.
Yes.
Right? Right? So I'm looking down at where you're going to actually put data into a frame or an area into the chat, right? Yeah. and I just don't see it. I don't. All I see is make it visible or not.
Okay, Alan, just write it. Just write it, and
yeah, because I would love to see it. Because
Jeff, pretend that the chat button doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Just pretend it doesn't exist.
All right. And
we can still have a chat.
But you're going to put it as a video overlay on the screen?
No.
You're going to write your own chat in JavaScript. No, but Alan, quick question for you. Is it possible?
Where is
it? Know the API stuff.
No, time out.
No, Jeff, let me answer Oleg's question first. Go ahead, Oleg.
Okay.
Is it possible to
simply put the chat that's on the post itself for the Hangout to make it visible inside the Hangout? Can that be done?
Yes.
Because you can do that.
Then it goes back to what Jeff says. How do you push data into the Hangout?
Yeah, you can't. That's what I'm saying. I can right now. For example, right now on my site, I did yesterday. I copied the embed code from Dan's show yesterday, right when we were on a Hangout, and then I put it on my website, and I put my own chat next to it, and I put them both side by side in a table, right? So I had the chat going over. I had the screen of the Hangout, and then I had a separate chat. Yeah, you could definitely do that, but where I'm missing it is where you put that information into the chat window on this.
You cannot put it into the chat window that the Hangout currently defines.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But so what?
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, but then you're back to you wanted a centralized chat where people would write into that chat from an outside source into this window. That's what we're talking about.
I said you can have a centralized chat that will write to a chat running in this Hangout. It doesn't need to be this. It doesn't need to be that thing up there.
But I don't see where you have the ability to create. Let me just hear me out.
You can create anything in JavaScript.
Yes, I'm with you on that.
Then
I got that. Right now I can do a doodle over the screen. Over the face screen. I'm looking at I'm telling you, I'm looking at the damn API. Right?
And then that also means that the people who are actually joining the chat should join from your website, right?
No. It's two things that I'm saying. Oleg brought up an interesting point that I had forgotten about, and he makes an excellent point, and that is a good solution. But I'm going to ignore it for the moment for a number of reasons, which I'll explain another time, or at least later.
I mean, what you can do is you can change the width and the size of the canvas on the screen and then possibly put something else over there.
No, Jeff, tell you what. Go click on the...
I'm looking at that. Tell me where you would actually change...
Go click on the Google Effects, whatever they call it, plugin thingy.
Yeah, exactly.
Go click on that.
Yep.
Okay, you see that space over there?
Yep.
What if you put, like, a window that showed messages in text as they came in, and you had another little window at the bottom where you could enter stuff in.
Right, but that would not be an integrated chat into this chat. That is a separate application.
I've said 3 times now. I'll say it 3 more if you need me to.
No, it can be a separate chat. It just has to be visible in the player.
Right.
Will it have to be visible in the player only if that person's thing is selected or whatever?
Ignore the chat that currently exists. Pretend it doesn't exist.
It's a separate thing. It's irrelevant. Yeah, we want a public chat in addition.
We want a public chat.
We want both. We want both.
We want to say, sit up straight, please, but have the public chat as well.
Right
now, there is nothing that'll let you tap into that chat. That's fine. What I'm saying is that we can write an app that completely ignores that chat and gives our own chat services.
And still show up in this screen?
It will show up. You'll need to run the app or the extension, whatever it's called, and it will show up in the right margin or left margin. Yeah, that's left. It'll show up in the left margin there.
Because you're changing the canvas size of the camera, right? The general camera, and then you're going to show something else in there.
Does it change? It doesn't change it all that much. It's a little bit wider than the chat, but only a little bit.
But the problem, Alan, is this is not a screen capture of my Hangout being broadcast. This is a separately created thing. For example, on the broadcast, there isn't the chat doesn't show up. The thing on the left that says people or apps next to your face there, it doesn't show up. It's a separately created entity.
Right.
So I don't see how you could create something in here other than something that would appear in your personal screen when you were selected talking that would show up in the viewer. I could recreate this easily, as Jeff knows, as he's doing with his lower thirds, and let me bring him up here. We could easily bring in a chat that would appear in lower thirds like that or on the side or whatever for a Justin TV simulcast like we do for Google Plus Week, but how could you bring it in to where...
So what it sounds like you're asking for now is... I'm losing a little bit what you're trying to get at the same time. What are you looking for?
What I want is a single chat that we see, that the public sees, that is integrated, that is easy for users. I mean, there are a million third-party apps that we could utilize, no question. But just like Justin TV is a third-party thing that I utilize. But it doesn't have the integration. It's not built in. It's not part of Google Plus. And so it's still a bit of an obstacle. And that I don't think there's a way to overcome that with what I'm hearing so far.
Well, what there is, because the built-in, well, it's two things. One, two things. One is that I could put on a website a chat that integrates with a chat that we'll see in here in the same time. So we will be able to communicate in that way with people outside.
Here's an option. Can
I finish?
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. The other thing is what Oleg asked me is would we be able to do something like pull the comments from a post and put them into that chat? And it occurs to me the answer is yes. It's a little more tricky, but the Google API, the Google Read API that exists, not the Hangout API, the Read API, does have a way for us to check for comments to a post. The only real tricky part is telling it what post to look at. But once you solve that problem, it's not too difficult. So even there, we can have a way for it to read comments. We can have a way for it to read stuff that's typed in at an external website and have it all funneled into the single pane on the left.
All right, you can create an app that will show up in my screen so that when I'm going to click on my face here or whatever.
No, Dan, what I can do is have an app that shows up on your screen so that if you clicked the Google Effects extension, for example, have you clicked on Google Effects yet?
It changes the canvas size and puts this over there. It opens up a box.
Yeah, it opens up a box. Actually, I can even change the camera size. I can even change what space is used for the camera for your display.
Yeah.
Okay, so like could you create a thing that would import an RSS feed or whatever that would like right here put a box with text in it on my screen so that when could you create it so that when I was selected it would look like what Jeff's lower thirds are?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, if you can do that, then
with caveats, yes.
Okay, here's my thing.
Caveats right now.
Okay, Dan, we're gonna have to Jimmy rig this. But
Dan, I showed you that the screen capture before where it had at the bottom Hangout API. Yeah. That was generated by my Hangout API and displayed over my video image through a Hangout app.
Okay, if you could create, for example, like for the show, and this would be universally applicable to a bunch of different, on-air hangouts that people do. If it's not an on-air hangout, if you're using a third-party app, then it's easy to duplicate these features using Justin or Wirecast or whatever. But to import it in here, could you create an app that would integrate with an IRC chat or some other third-party chat, and we would just say, hey, here's the chat, here's the central chat, right? Go here and type stuff in, and then everybody who's a participant in here would run your app, and as soon as they come in, we'd say in the tap room, whatever, activate this app, and that app would display on one side or the other of the screen the chat, so that whoever was talking, it would show up just like when Leo switches, to his chat screen. So like right now I'm talking, I'm over here, and like on this side, you would see the chat, and then when it switches to Alan, you'd see the same chat because we all have the same app running.
No, let's not talk about. Let's get to the basics.
What they really need to do is add this function to the API.
Alan, another question for you: is it possible to do an embed on an existing application into a place in a Hangout?
I'm not sure I follow your question.
Let's say that we find some sort of public application out there that already has chat capabilities. Is it possible to simply embed that app? Let's say they have embed code. Is it possible to use their embed code and plug it into to show the content of it or whatever is going on it, and actually have it running within the framework of Google Hangout API?
That would be more difficult to guarantee.
Yeah,
the biggest problem is, without knowing what other resources they're trying to do and what other tricks they're trying to pull with the JavaScript and HTML, it is theoretically possible, but it is only theoretically possible.
Because I'm just looking, that would be a simple solution to use an existing app that somebody already developed, has an embed code. Like, they have a bunch of these things you can plug into your own website. So I was thinking that if it's possible to plug it into the Hangout API, then we're done, basically.
Yeah, but I do that. I do that now with just using an iframe on my site. Using iframe.
Jeff, all a Hangout app is an iframe.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm totally with you, Alan. I understand what you're saying, buddy. But what I'm saying, what they really need to do is just put a insert data API into the chat. Just get value, insert it. Boom.
There are reasons why you don't want to do that, and it's a little more complicated than that. Because you don't want to have forged data showing up in the API in the chat.
But
hold on. Hey, Jeff. What are you telling me? Right now you have ability to use the iframes to show both chat and API and the Hangout going at the same time?
Yeah, I did that yesterday. I can do it right now. I can show you exactly how it's done right now.
With a Hangout?
With a Hangout, yes.
All the Hangout app is an iframe.
Yeah, no. Right now, all you have to do this. Go to Chrome extensions, add better Hangouts to your extensions.
Okay.
And then when you have any on ear, which I'll do it right now because we're on ear, right?
Yeah, we're broadcasting.
We're broadcasting. And all you do is it actually displays the embed code, and you put that on your website, and that's it. Boom, and it comes up.
Okay, but here's the problem. I mean, it's fine if we say let's do a Chrome extension. That's great unless you're not running Chrome.
I'm just saying, no. I'm just saying, that extension gives you the code to put into your website. Yeah, I did that yesterday. You want me to do it now? I can do it now.
No. But then doesn't the URL change every time whenever you?
Yeah, but every time you just run it again.
You just copy that script.
Oh, you have to redo, but you have to redo that part every time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea. We can have googleplusweek.com or equivalent. We can make it .net to be similar to your website, and we can have something like that going in there. What's wrong with that?
I'd love to have, however we can do it, to have a chat where there's one place that we can direct everybody to. Really, Google needs to do this.
No, well, but before Google does it,
we need a workaround.
Jeff is saying we can do it right now. We can have it done tomorrow.
It'd be great if we could have, but we're never going to get away until Google does it. I mean, it's always going to be that. I mean, like when we do the show, it gets shared in 7, 10 different places, and there's comments everywhere.
Then we could have a single URL that's published that everybody knows to go to Google Plus Week. They need to go to that URL, and that's the one that's going to be advertised, published, and everything.
Yeah, you would have just a web page, and it would just come up, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
The thing is, that just eliminates Justin as a source for you.
Alan, don't you think it makes sense to do this with and write your own chat thing for the deal?
Well, it still isn't clear to me. I mean, Jeff hasn't exactly indicated how you get the chat iframe inside the Hangout.
No, it wouldn't be the Hangout. It would be on your page. You got one iframe for chat, and next to it another iframe for Hangout. That's what.
Let me just show you this. Hold on, I have to turn it back on. Hold on.
Jeff, is that accurate, Jeff, or am I?
Well, no. What the Hangout extension gives you is the streaming, so you'll be able to watch it and chat at the same time. But that's what you have with Justin TV right now. That doesn't give us anything over what Justin TV gives us.
Correct.
Well,
that's the thing. It doesn't. Google's going to have to do this. They're going to integrate it right into the Hangout.
No, they're not. I just told you how I would do it. Give me 2 weeks, because I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get.
No. What do you mean 2 weeks?
Tomorrow.
We got 2 days. We got show in 2 days.
I know.
Time is money,
I know.
Alan. Time is money.
Time is money. Okay, fork over the money. I'll fork over the.
Exactly.
I'm going to be. I'm the one who's a little skeptical on how this is going to work.
Delay.
But if you can do it, do it.
If you publish it, let me put it this way, Jeff. Let me put it this way. Can you envision an iframe that is running some JavaScript inside it, that is communicating with another server, exchanging text messages?
Yeah, no, Alan. Yeah, no,
If you can envision that, then you're envisioning exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. I'm totally with you. But the better way for them to do this would be to have 3 commands or 4 commands to allow you to insert into that chat. That's all you need. Get data, get value, insert.
I think that while in some cases that would be better, it would not necessarily be a better solution.
The problem with that is the people who are chatting from their external source, will they be able to see the messages that's flowing here? If not, then there won't be a communication state.
That's what it starts turning into. You don't just need things that write into it. You need things that read from it. You need ways to synchronize that. Yes.
Well, you need both. But what I was that's what I was saying.
Google provided a way to tap into the exact same chat pane. I'm not disputing that, but we're not getting that tomorrow. Who knows when and if ever we're going to get that?
Maybe Dan will pay.
The only other thing you could do, and I hate to say this, is a simple thing to do. Is just run that embed code from the Justin chat, open up the chat box in here, and just overlay it. Just physically put it right there.
Yeah, but that doesn't work. That wouldn't work in the Hangout video.
No, people wouldn't be able. No, they would have to use Justin TV chat.
The problem we deliver this
remember, Dan is looking for something else. Dan wants something else as well. Dan also wants to be able to show the chat as part of the streaming video.
Right, and that's a whole separate ballgame.
About the sanity of doing that, but that's what he wants.
Exactly.
That opens up a whole can of worms.
Right.
Well, yeah.
No, I don't think we want to be doing that anytime soon.
That's what he just asked for.
I know, but I don't think it's a good idea.
I'm saying that's probably what gives Google Plus pause, because they're like, well, what if someone like we've had on the show, we've had people come in who were part of that hacker group or whatever, and they've kind of sabotaged the Hangout. What do you do if that happens? And that's showing up there with like the F word or whatever, in the thing. What do you do then? I mean, it's permanently recorded. The problem is we deliver our content on Justin, on YouTube, and in a live Google Hangout, and in all 3 of those places there are comments. The player gets shared throughout the show. When I post the Justin player, and then when Google automatically posts the public Hangout On Air player, those posts get shared, and there's comments all over the place.
Right.
Linda could share it, and then 7 people will share it from there, and there's comments all over the place, and
there's
I desperately want a central way that's easy to capture those comments so that we can respond to them in real time when they're relevant, because that's part of the program. I mean, it's a live program. We may have 100 people watching live and thousands after the fact. I mean, no, it's probably no more than 100 watching live, and then anywhere from 1,500 to 4,000 watching over the week archived. But still, that's enough. The core people watch live, and the ones like George Cozy and people, had the most interesting comments. And Jason here in Guam, but for this Hangout, he's commenting on it, and I want to be able to see those comments, and I want to be able to respond to them in real time because they're part of the show. They're interesting
That's
content.
why I think my solution would be so elegant, because you just have another stream. It's exactly the same thing that's outside in the post itself, which is showing the Hangout. And whatever is typed in there you can see, and whatever you type they can see. But you're using the same, it's essentially like you're typing in the same place. Yeah. So if you can have that code be running here inside,
I'll tell you,
here's for example.
That doesn't give us anything that Justin TV doesn't already give us.
That
consolidated, this is what we need.
Needing Justin TV, we don't need to do Justin TV. You go to Google Plus, you find the stuff, and you use it.
This is the code right now for this Hangout. I posted in the chat. Don't click on it.
No, okay. That's the code for the streaming version of this Hangout.
It will be nice to get rid of Justin TV completely, in my view. Because to me, it's one of these deals, well, if you're running Justin, then turn off your mic, because people, so you don't get this double deal. I mean, it's a nuisance to do this stuff with Justin TV.
Okay, so, this is probably a Mohammed Mansour thing, but what if you came up with an app that, I mean, not necessarily Google Plus app. What if you came up with some sort of application that would take the Justin chat, it would log in with their API, because they have a pretty advanced API at Justin TV. Take their chat, take the monitor where the player is, the various players are shared on Google Plus, and monitor all the comments, and combine them into a single RSS feed of some sort. All the various places where we distribute the program in real time, and then combine them into a single feed that could be displayed in the Justin player.
In a special 3D visor that Dan's going to get from Google.
Yeah, the hardest part.
Because he has 6 monitors on the.
Yeah, you see, for example,
it's not
right
as
now.
far-fetched as tacos by RS Helicopter.
I don't know how you get.
Why didn't you use Justin TV? That's what I don't get. Why didn't you use Justin TV?
Oh, it's just that or Ustream, because that's the produced version that goes on YouTube with the.
Because of the chroma key? Is that why?
Well, it's the chroma key. It's the ability to have both of us talking to each other.
Hey, that reminds me. Are we going to try that out tomorrow night?
Try what?
The new Hangout killer.
Yeah, the
guy told me he was going to send it to me, and I haven't gotten it yet. He said tonight. I don't know what that means, because he's West Coast.
With today's announcement from Google that he probably takes a little break here.
Yeah. Hey, just so you know, I don't know how you're going to get the comments from this post that's the original Hangouts on Air in anywhere, because. No. I'm talking about the post.
I'm laughing at Alan.
No. There's 18 comments on this right now, right?
Yeah.
And?
I can do it, Jeff.
I think it's a good thing that we're hundreds of miles apart. Otherwise, Jeff would kill Alan, or Alan would kill Jeff, but one of them would be dead.
Dan.
Yeah.
It looks like Alan is within budget, and 2 weeks is within time frame. Let's have him do it.
Yeah. If he.
Yeah, I think he knows what I'm talking about.
I know he knows what he's talking
5
about.
different things, Dan.
But I'm just saying, it would have, for example, this, for these guys watching it, they would have to do it from my Hangout button that Alan has created to launch his app. Yes, he can't.
No,
it would not show. No. How do you launch your app right now? If you were to do something right now, how would I be able to actuate it?
Which you? You in the Hangout with me?
Me, right now, me, yes.
You in the Hangout with me. There would be 2 possible ways. One is you either click on the button to activate it the first...
Oh, wait, slow down. We got an
expert in here.
We got an expert.
Chee, welcome. How you doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're having a big debate.
Uh-oh.
Are you going to come on our show Friday night and give us a 10-minute rundown on what you guys have accomplished? We'd be honored to have you, and that would be most awesome if you would do that.
I will try. I can't commit yet. My schedule is kind of in flux, so I will try.
I know you're busy reinventing the world and everything.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing no evil. We understand that.
I invited you and Vic, and either one would have been great, and I'm glad you're here. So thanks.
Yeah, my schedule kind of gets crazy right around 8 o'clock and doesn't let up until about 6 o'clock. So that just happens every day. But
well, this is a big shipment day for you guys.
It is a big day for us.
What does it mean? Tell me the impact. I mean, what are you going after, and all that stuff?
Well, this has been something that I've been planning and intending, wanting to do since before we launched. So from very early, the whole intent was to do something like this. That's why we did YouTube the way that we did YouTube. Some people dug into the code and they saw the shared spaces platform that we built upon, and they sort of speculated on that. And then we did these effects. And I think that some people were asking, like, Oleg, you were commenting on the effects. So, like, why do we do the effects? Why didn't we do the lower third?
Yeah, I apologize for that now.
No. Like, we were intentionally proving out the APIs. And we wanted, like, it's a harder thing to do the face detection, and we want to expose that to the users. We could have done lower third. It wouldn't have tested out the interesting face detection APIs for us to expose. And then at the end, our belief, our goal, what we've seen so far is that the users will take Hangouts in all sorts of directions that we cannot keep up with in our team. And I think that when you expose the platform, that unleashes people's creativities, not only to do crazy things that we hadn't thought of, but also to serve like things that 1% of people may need or want, and 1% person may want something else. And it doesn't make sense for us just to go out and tackle all these 1%. But it does make sense for us to allow those 1% needs to be handled. Right? So that's the approach that we took.
Okay, I got one more question, and then I'm going to hand it to Alan and Oleg or whoever wants to talk. One of the things, like for Google Plus Week, our show we do, one of the things that we're confronting, and we were just discussing before you came on, I don't know if you were watching, but a central chat, some sort of facility, and as we've discussed it for like an hour, it is complicated. How do you do it? The concern of people coming in and like writing vulgarities or things like that, and all sorts of problems. But like I'm looking at the screen now, on the left side you have the internal chat, which could be like if you're doing a show or if you're hanging out, whatever, you could have a private chat. But it'd be so neat if, in a Hangout on Air especially, if you had the ability to have a public chat where you could, as the post is shared, as the player is shared throughout the ecosystem, that anybody could join in and we could all engage with them. Because as you know, some of the best comments come from people who are shy to be in a Hangout.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
I'm not going to disagree.
Are you tackling this?
Well, the question is all about priorities, right? So our team is actually small. When people dig in and understand our team, our team size is actually pretty small. So it's all about choosing priorities. With the API release that we have now, a developer can build that. Like, you don't need us to build that. Like, if that's something that you can build that. That's one thing. And the other thing is specifically the Hangout on Air team. Their number one priority is to get the things that we need to do in order to open out to everybody. Like, the number of people who are doing broadcasts right now is a small percentage of overall population. We're going to go and try to get it open for every single person on Google+, and that is their top priority. That's going to be higher priority for them than allowing the chat inside and outside. I'm not discounting what you're saying. I believe and I agree with you that's valuable, so I'm just saying it's more valuable to get on air for everybody.
How do we get a Google Plus hoodie? Alan, go next, and then Oleg, and then whoever else.
Gee, first of all,
this is not a Google Plus hoodie. It's a Hangout hoodie. It's got the.
Oh, it's rock.
That's even better.
I'm gonna send a picture. I'm gonna send a picture of that to Geraldo Rivera. I'm just kidding. I don't want to get into that. Alan, go ahead. Talk tech stuff with.
Gee, first of all, I want to personally, I want to thank you and the team for doing a great job. I've been playing with the developer preview of the API for a few months now, since the first day it came out, and I was excited about it then. I've been excited all day about finishing up these apps that I've been working on for so many months that I could finally show people. So I'm really excited about it. I wanted to thank you and the team for the work.
Oh yeah, like it's my pleasure. I think it'll be super exciting to see what people have in store. So yeah, polish up your apps and let's see them.
It's a lot of it has been, I'm like, well, it's almost done, but until the final API comes out, why bother? I can't show anybody. So now I've got that additional motivation coming out, and these guys have been hounding me all night. But you notice they've kept me on here talking about it, so I can't actually finish it up tonight. And so I'm blaming all of you. But
and you got to make it good, because the way that we're releasing them, they're not good, they won't get airtime.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, come on. The Bravo app is supposed to be some sort of exceptional deal. Come on, Chee.
We have a few like starter apps to get everyone to understand what's possible, but other than that, like I think our design is for great apps to spread like wildfire, and apps that aren't ready won't make it very far.
So
I just want to read something from the comment that George just said. He goes, Chee, if nothing else, you guys made Alan Furstenberg happy. He's never seen me smile so much. And
well, that was actually the primary goal of the release.
To get Alan Furstenberg. It's the Alan Furstenberg release.
Yes, that's our code name for the release.
Prisoner.
The Alan release.
It's the Prisoner release. I hope TechCrunch is watching and they can dub it as such. Oleg?
Chee, I just want to, definitely back up Alan's comments about wonderful job you guys did, and kudos to the whole team, to you. I mean, excellent job. One thing people don't realize is the reason it's so good is because it's coming out of Kirkland, Google. And all of you guys don't realize that, but that's exactly the case. So, but I wanted to ask you in terms of embedding things, embedding into your own website, embedding, the Hangouts and the apps and things like that. Is that something that potentially forthcoming or not?
So you can embed a link that launches Hangouts with your apps preloaded into it. So developers can do that right now.
Okay.
We don't currently allow Hangouts itself to be hosted into another app, into another site. There are lots of concerns about that, everything from cross-site scripting to the ability for a website to turn on someone's camera, which has privacy, security concerns, and all that sort of stuff. So we're very cautious about that. Like we never want to catch someone off guard, right? So, but we definitely want to encourage folks to have app links on their websites and promote it any way they want to, in terms of like getting people to launch Hangouts straight from the website and into their app.
So what about naming them? Jeff, hang on one sec, real quick. I got a quick question, and then Jeff. What about naming regular Hangouts? That's the only Hangout that can't be named. And a buddy of mine, Eric Rice, who participates in our Friday show, brought this up today. What are the reasons, or is that something that's maybe coming down the pike, or?
Hey, let me answer that question in a few days.
Okay, good. Okay, we'll accept that. Jeff?
Yeah, so I just want to be clear. So when say you develop your own app, right? You have to launch it from your own URL or your own Google Plus button that launches that app. You cannot. Can you launch it from a posting in Google Plus that just launches your app?
Just an URL. It's just an URL.
So so that will include, that URL will include your app in it then.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you can also launch it, I'm assuming, from email link, from any kind of link.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Tweet it.
That's how you do it then.
Post on Google Plus. Spread it any way you want, and then people will share it if they like it, and if they don't, they won't share it, and then let the great apps spread.
Sure.
Is it appropriate to share an on-air Hangout link to join?
It's up to you. If you want to share an on-air Hangout link and open up for everyone to come in, that's your prerogative.
But we're not going to get in trouble with you guys, because
No.
that's part of the agreement. I mean, it's not built in, so I don't want to get in trouble and like.
No, the only thing that get you in trouble if you do things that are illegal.
Okay.
These unique URLs for the Hangouts, are they still going to ask you to log into Google, or I mean, if somebody just pastes it publicly?
You have to have a Google account in order to get into a Hangout.
But even though, I mean, I saw a conversation earlier today from Alan. If you posted that, even if it's a private Hangout, somebody can still get into that.
There's no such thing as a private Hangout.
Okay.
Right.
But everyone was posted to a Google account that tried it, so
right.
You know that's how they got in.
Chee, I have a question. This is outside Hangouts. Can I ask you? It's generally about Google Plus, which I had a conversation with somebody on an Alan post.
You can ask. I might not answer it.
All right. Okay.
That's fair.
So here's the question. I mean,
an Alan post. I like that.
Here's a question. I mean, if I want to exclude somebody, from my public post, let's say I'm making a public post and I want to exclude my colleagues from that. Right now, there is no direct way to do that.
You're blocking.
No, that still doesn't work because public means public, and that also goes into our Google web crawler indexer. So if you do a search on it, like you can find it. So if you make it public, it is public.
So if you have like an intersection of two different circles, like say I have a bunch of people in one circle, I'm just posting to that circle. What if I just want to exclude one person from that? It's not public anymore.
Yeah, take them out of that circle.
Oh, see, that means you have to actually edit the circle every time you do that.
Well, if you're talking about people at your job streak, you can always just change jobs, and that eliminates them right there.
No, I'm just curious.
Yeah, yes, you're right. You're correct. What I would tell you is that this is the developer side of me. There's a reason why you have essentially a subset circle. So make that circle and leave it permanent, right? Make it a real circle, and then you can post repeat to it.
In FactStreak, you can't necessarily remove the person and then add them for a later post because they may be permitted to post that existed before they were added again. At least at one point in time, we've tested that, and that's how it worked. But I don't remember how it works today. The right way to do it is to either create another circle or, well, I'll be posting as a follow-up to that whole thread later on today or this weekend as well.
By the way, did you guys notice how big Chee's office is?
That's for all his secretaries. They all gather at those tables.
Those are the minions behind him. Yeah, exactly.
I somehow wouldn't say that too loud.
Gee, I would love to. What are the odds you can join us for Friday's show? Because the reason I asked
my wife just asked to verify whether she was just called a minion.
No, definitely not.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
You said that too loud.
We just lost our best guest. No, the reason I ask is I'd love to open it up and say, like, do you have any questions for Chee? And just sort of compile them, in comments. And but I mean, what are the odds you can join us? Because I know we chatted about it in the comments on that post on Oleg or Alan's profile or whatever.
Like odds are like 50-50 right now.
Okay.
Let me get you an answer tomorrow.
All right. Is it fair that if you can't join us, you can join us at some point?
Sure.
Like the next week or whatever, so we can gather them. Because I think it'll be neat because the whole thing is social, right? So we want it, and a lot of people don't feel comfortable going in a Hangout, as you know, and we're trying to change that by doing things like what we're doing right now.
You do it every Friday?
Every Friday, 8 p.m.
I'm the current representative, by the way.
That's 8 p.m. Eastern.
Eastern time, 5 p.m. your time.
Normal time, 5 p.m., yes.
Yeah, and GMT changes because of this ridiculous system we have in the U.S. But that's a whole thing, that's a different topic.
I read that the death rate from cars hitting pedestrians goes down because of daylight savings. I didn't like last year I learned that. Yeah.
Really?
More people get hit in the darkness of the morning than they do at night. People are more conscious about the darkness at night than they are in the morning.
Except in San Francisco.
It would happen, not savings time? Now I'm curious.
Yeah, that's something I read last year. I'm kind of curious.
Interesting. I hadn't heard that. Yeah.
So do we make the questions for Chee only after we know Chee is gonna come in or not, or?
I may throw his picture up there and say, do you have any questions for Chee Chew? He's supposed to join us, but he may not be able to because they're working on all these things.
Dan, that's wrong marketing. Listen, you advertise that Chee's going to be there. If he cannot make it, we're going to have a ton of people watching the show anyway.
Like George Jones.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's like George Jones. Promoters would advertise that he was going to be there even if he wasn't booked with George Jones. Because he was so notorious for missing shows.
No, we'll just, at that time we'll apologize, say he couldn't make it. Everybody should understand how busy.
We got to be honest. We got to say, like, Chee Chew is going to try to join us. Here's a preview, for this on-air hangout. And do you have any questions you'd like us to ask? And I think that would be great to just open it up and just let, because they're... And Chee, you don't have to respond to this statement I'm about to make. You're welcome to... private post me and tell me not to ask any of the questions you don't want to be asked that they might pose. And I'll pretend that, that conversation never occurred,
And he'll just pass them on to Oleg and I to ask instead. That's
Exactly, no.
The question about can we live stream on air onto other websites? You can embed the player on any website. That's fine. We don't allow the Hangout itself to be embedded in another website, like the joinable one.
What about a single URL, even if it weren't a vanity URL, just so that every time, me or whoever did like I could have a website where anytime I'm going, just like a Ustream player or Justin player, I have the same URL.
Persistent,
right. Yeah. You can actually kind of do that right now with HX, with Hangouts with Extras, we call it HX. Because if you create a name rune, that's a permanent URL. We're not seeing that a whole lot of people are doing that, and one of the concerns, that was actually one of the initial, it was the first prototype of Hangouts, is that every profile had their own room. Like, every person had their own Hangout room. But with the permission models, the way that we wanted to construct it, we had concerns that if someone all of a sudden didn't like you, they could come and sort of troll your room and essentially block you out of your own room, right?
Yes.
And it created a lot of complexity to it.
It was one of the things with extras that we were observing early on, Dan, is that since you could go to, since the title is part of the URL, anybody can just go to that title at any time, and it creates a Hangout if there isn't one already running there. So if, for example, I wanted to do something malicious against you, I could go to hangouts.google.com/Dan McDermott and just constantly have somebody there pretending to be you, making it so that you couldn't create your Hangout and run it there.
And
that makes sense.
Block everyone that goes in there. Yeah.
Obviously, it would be neat if there were some sort of way to embed a player so that, like if Ariana Huffington, anytime anyone's on Huffington Post and they're browsing around, there's this little player up there. If she ever goes live with a Hangout, it would suddenly pop up whatever, thing they were on, and it wouldn't, require someone to embed a unique code for that Hangout. I'm sure that they realize that, and this is on the list of things.
What would be great, and I think I've submitted this to the API team a couple of times, is having the streaming URL for the Hangout as one of the data items that's available through the API for a post. And that way it makes it easy for us to write an app that could be checking and say, that does a search, Dan started a Hangout, here's the live stream for it, let's start up the live stream on a website.
Right. I know that one's on the list to do. I don't know when the team is going to get to that one, but it's definitely on the list.
Great. I figured it was somewhere on the list, but thank you.
I want to see the list.
I'd love to see. The
list is long.
That is true.
I just want on-air status. That's all I want.
Chee, do you think
on Gmail you can there's an option they have where you can add basically any kind of gadget, and just about anything you want. It's one of the web options on Gmail. I was just wondering, is there anything that is possibly considered to add and embed, like you can embed services into your own websites, embed other website service onto the live Hangout.
And just for you, or share to other people?
Well, like for example, we were talking about chat. Remember how we talked about chat? There's plenty of chat services out there. There was a way to simply embed somebody's embed code into a Hangout. You could just take somebody else's chat and drop it right into Hangout.
So Alan should go and create a really simple app that is nothing but an iframe, and that iframe can take an URL, and you can embed any website into it.
Okay, so you can do it. Well, Alan didn't say we can do it. He said that it might be a little more complex, but so you can do it.
Right. My concern was making sure that we would, that we had an app that could run in an iframe independently of anything else.
Oh yeah, sure.
I said that it was. What I said, Oleg, was that it was theoretically possible, but that the implementation might be a little bit tricky.
Well, all you have to do is, but you just change.
It always has a caveat.
Yeah, you just change the canvas size of the video.
Of course I have a caveat. I'm a programmer. What do you expect me to say?
There's always an asterisk with Alan.
The interesting question is, what do you do in terms of sharing? Like, is that an app that you want to embed just for yourself, or is it one you want to then share?
No, you want to have other people do it too. Yeah, but in case with this chat, you definitely want other people to be able to participate in this chat who are not in the Hangout.
But sure. they would have to join through the URL, the specific URL that you're doing, right?
But if you did that, then you could get what Peter was asking for in terms of a conduit inside and outside the Hangout.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Chee. And maybe this question is too user-specific, and maybe, this is like my problem, and a bug, but, my problem. But it seems like when I try to log on through a tablet, I can't sign into Hangouts. And when I try to use my phone to log on to a Hangout, whether it be Wi-Fi or over the 3G network, I can't join a Hangout, and that seems to be all the time with the tablet and the phone. And then I seem to have a lot of problems, and Dan and various other people in this specific Hangout can attest to this, where I'll lag out and such. Is that my problem, my configurations, or could it be some sort of problem associated with my specific account? Or is it, is it me, or is it Google?
So I didn't hear the last one. You say on your desktop, what happens?
A lot of the time, for no apparent reason, I'll just lag out of the Hangout, or the video will freeze, or a lot of the time the video will freeze, and I'll continue getting audio, and then eventually that will manifest, 50% of the time into the entire Hangout just crashing. And most of the time when that happens, it says that the plugin has crashed.
This is on Chrome with plugin unresponsive?
Right. Sorry.
So the tablet issues, I need to know more, and you should please send me a post. Oh, see you, Jeff. You should send me a post about what you're seeing. Tablets mobile cannot join On Air, so you cannot join this Hangout via tablet.
Okay, and that might be the problem with the Hangout, with the tablet and probably the phone too, right?
Right. You can only join non-On Air Hangouts from tablet and mobile devices.
I have a follow-up on that when you're done.
Okay, sure. And then as far as seeing the plugin unresponsive and crashing, there are some issues that we're looking into for plugin unresponsive. We're working on some fixes. There are some known issues if your CPU gets really bugged. Are you on a Windows machine or a Mac?
I'm on a Windows computer.
If your CPU really gets maxed out, that's often something will start a cascade of issues that will end up causing that. So that's certainly one thing. The other thing we found that I have a problem on this machine is the Logitech drivers. The default Logitech drivers on some processors lock up and freeze when the CPU hits 90%. So I had to, on the machine I'm on, uninstall the Logitech drivers and use the Windows defaults. which are old drivers, but they stay stable for me.
Are you seeing similar issues on a Mac?
Sorry?
Are you seeing similar issues on a Mac with Logitech? Because my CPU spikes pretty badly in a Hangout.
Yeah, the CPU spikes on the Mac for different reasons. Does it have the same freezing issue? I'm not sure. I'd have to check with those guys. On the Mac, we don't get the same hardware acceleration that we do on Windows. Windows has a single unified acceleration driver model through DirectX, and the Mac has like 3 different ones, and so that sort of makes things kind of complicated on the Mac.
Okay. My follow-up question was, what are the prospects for apps on mobile?
That's a good question.
Apps on mobile, to be specific.
Yeah, I get you. We don't have support for them at this time because obviously, like, the way you do this is through HTML, JavaScript, and the way that mobile is designed is not designed for apps to run JS inside it.
Okay.
Speaking of mobile, Chee, so is this going to be permanent, where you cannot join HOAs from a phone, or is that basically something that might be coming in the future?
No, we want to make all platforms equal, but there are a bunch of technical hurdles that we're working through.
Good.
It's surprising the number of issues that we have to deal with, but we'll work through those.
Now, for the tablets, is the primary issue connection speeds, or is it
no
rather than that? Okay.
No, there's no additional connection speed issue on an on-air versus on a regular Hangout. Like even the broadcaster doesn't consume any extra bandwidth to do the broadcast. We do it all from a server side.
Anthony, are you running ICS or not on your tablet?
Yeah, I have 4.0.3.
Okay, so if you're running ICS, Chee, correct me if I'm wrong, couldn't he run just regular Chrome on ICS on his tablet and use the desktop version?
No, that doesn't work.
Doesn't work?
No, because Chrome on there does not support NT-API plugins, and it doesn't support the plugin that we have.
So it's just the mobile then, basically. Even though you're running Chrome, it's just the mobile deal. I got it.
Chrome is not enough for the mobile. No.
It also doesn't seem to have an ability to change the user agent to a non-mobile device, right? Or at least I haven't found it yet.
That's a good question. I'm not sure about that.
HU, do you think on Google TV with the Android, with the Chrome browser, we're gonna be able to do Hangouts anytime soon?
I am not very familiar with the Google TV team and what their plans are.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Just hook up your computer through HDMI to a big TV and have Google Hangout on TV.
Right.
That'll work.
I got a question for Chee. You're privy to everything that's going on there, and so much of it you cannot talk about, right?
There's
inside information.
I couldn't keep up with it.
Right. So when you see these posts and stories come out that are dogging you guys, because it's not the Mona Lisa yet, right? And we discussed this in the last show, and Oleg beat me up. We talked about Robert's post. How do you handle that? You got to be itching like, man, I wish I could just tell them, just shut up, and we got all this cool stuff coming up soon, and you can't because you can't pre-announce, for competitive reasons. How do you handle that? It's got to be frustrating, right?
Not for me, but maybe for other folks. But I don't know. For me, I really just kind of focus on the stuff I can control, and really just keep working on Hangouts. The things that I have a harder time biting my tongue on, and not saying anything about are ones where I guess someone really either doesn't understand or has an opinion about Hangout specifically that in the short term might be the right answer, but there's this longer-term roadmap vision, like cascade of things that that we have planned. Like Oleg's posted on the effects is a great example. Like we did that. There were three things that were very intentional about that. One was the platform. The goal was to prove the platform, to test it, let everyone hammer on it, and help us create a good platform. Like object number 2 was to watch where people bias. I had a theory about which of the two people use more than others, because you had dog and cat, you had halos and horns. Dog and cat are fun. Halos and horns are expressive. Mm-hmm. I was betting that halos and horns would be more useful, more interesting, and have a longer life in Hangouts because they express emotion or disposition, whereas cat and dogs like express sort of, I don't know,
fun.
Something you like.
Yeah.
Right. And so like that was a sort of a user experiment.
Billy, you're a photographer, excellent photographer. Do you have a question for Chee or something? Or
hang on, Chee. Which was used more?
Yeah.
I want to hear the results of this.
So I can't reveal like too much from pure like back-end data information, but what I would say is that I think the expressive ones have more staying power. Mm-hmm. Even though they were sort of set later, like they were harder to get to.
That makes sense. Perfect sense.
So, anyways, like we have these plans. Even like YouTube, way back when we released, that was a setup for this release, and there are lots of debates about the usefulness of it and this and that and all that sort of stuff. And like, just bite my tongue. Like our vision is this platform.
Yeah. No, you guys are doing a great job. I wrote what I wrote, and the reason at the time when I wrote it is because of Logitech, because you know that they come with these little utilities when you buy the camera, and I thought this is all you guys are doing is just that, and I thought that's totally useless, so on and so forth. But then, Alan was telling me that, hey, it's not useless, there will be something, but what I didn't see was, what was that something? I mean, if somebody came out and said, we're coming out with something, there is a reason, like you told me. Basically, I shut up as soon as you told me what you told me, meaning that there's something we're working on. I won't be able to tell you anything until about a month from now. That was it. If somebody just comes up from...
You were
almost to the day. Almost to the day.
You were great about that. But look, I'm just using an example because I get lots of questions about that, and including the whole, like, there's another thread going on right now about moderator, and I feel really strongly about that and the privacy, like, lockdown of the rooms, and like there are core principles that I want to preserve on that. I don't know if you guys have played poker, but poker also, like, when you win, you get a crown. They put effects on you. They did a great job of working in effects with the game and all that sort of.
Yeah, no, I haven't tried it yet.
You plan to have any kind of integration with your gaming platform and actual Hangouts?
Which parts? Are you talking about, like, the...
I mean, the games you have released, suppose there's a one-on-one game.
There are games in Google+?
Like, if any of those developers want to turn it to multiplayer, Hangout enabled, they can do that, and they can launch it, and, like, it's open. We have a very open policy for Hangout.
Chee, speaking of that, and then I want to see if Billy has a question for you. George Cozy is watching the broadcast, and he just said, tell him that a Googler popping in like this in a Hangout does a lot of good. It should be done more often. So I guess that's an endorsement. Billy, anything you want to ask Chee Chew, who's responsible for all this madness we're experiencing now?
Loving so much, not experiencing.
Nothing that really pertains to the new apps or anything.
That's cool. That description is vague. In Vancouver, we have my buddy Bowie. Anything you want to ask Chee Chew?
It's $5 a question, by the way.
I want to have your babies.
Thank you, dude.
Like we have a lot of Googlers who jump in. We have a lot of Googlers who jump in and out of Hangouts, especially on Thursdays. Thursday is the development teams, or the Hangout development teams, public Hangout day. So twice during the day, we set aside a couple hours, and people just hop in and out of different Hangouts and talk with folks.
Yeah, we haven't seen Bryn yet in our Hangout. We're waiting for him to jump in.
Who?
Sergey.
Oh, Sergey? Well, the Thursday one is the Hangouts engineering team.
Sergey, this is all Sergey's idea, right?
Yeah, Sergey's not on the Hangouts engineering team. Although if he wanted to come and hack up some code, he's welcome to do so.
I mean, I think he was asking whether originally Hangouts was Sergey's idea, right?
Wasn't Sergey's idea, but he certainly helped sort of sponsor and put some gas behind it.
I thought somebody said that, though. Vic or somebody said that he had some offhand comment, like, let's do this, and it took off. Because it's largely, I mean, I've heard it many times referred to as your killer app.
Well, what happened was Sergey and Vic, I was running Google Talk at the time, and I wasn't part of Google+. And Sergey and Vic called me into a meeting to ask me to help Google+ by adding chat to it, and I agreed to it, and I said, but I think that's just kind of an ante into the game. There's this other idea that I have, which is this thing called, we call it the Hangout, and I tried to describe it to them, and we already had this thing which is a permanent video link between Kirkland and Stockholm. We were partners, but we had a hard time communicating with each other, so we set up a permanent link, and that link was called the Hangout. So I tried to describe this to Sergey and Vic, and they'd say, like, okay, I kind of get it, but like, what do you really mean? So I just fired up a laptop and joined into the Hangout, and there were folks from Kirkland and Stockholm there, and then all of a sudden there was Vic and Sergey. And we just hung out and we chatted really quickly, and they said, hey, that's really cool. How long will it take for you to do this, to prototype it? And I said, it'd take about an hour. Because we already had the code.
You sound like Mohammed Mansour.
He did 15 minutes right next week.
It's that we already had the code, and it's just a matter of gluing it together. So Sergey said, okay, go do it right now. And like, I was in Mountain View, and I was supposed to catch a flight back to Kirkland in like 3 hours. So they dragged me over to a developer and introduced me to the developer and said, okay, tell him how to do this. And so we sat down for like 15 minutes, and he wrote the code. I told him how to construct the link, and then I took off to the airport. I flew back home. I called in from the SeaTac, the Seattle airport, and just to check on, like, how are things going? Is it okay? Do you need help? And while I was in flight, that developer had finished the code, pushed the servers, and deployed it internally. And Vic was in a Hangout already, and he pinged me as soon as I logged in. He said, come here. So I joined it, and there was a Hangout with like 15 people in it, like right there when I landed. And Vic, with this huge glass of wine, I think he was a little tipsy, and he goes, gee, look, we have Hangouts. And so that's kind of how it started.
And that's really cool.
So that's the real story of how it got started.
What did it look like compared to this? I mean, was it thumbnails in one place, stretched across, and?
What did it look like? Yes, it had like a bunch of thumbnails. It had the main screen. Like at the core, it was the same. It wasn't nearly as polished and designed. It was more developer design. I don't know. It was not nearly it was very unstable. It was definitely a work in progress.
And did you have any idea that this would be the unique, described by some people
killer
as the feature, the killer app, whatever you want to call it?
I don't think that we thought of it that way. And like the Hangouts team, we were the very last team to join Google Plus. So like I don't think that people kind of understood and like figured out what Hangouts really were until it got out there. I certainly a few of us really believed in it, and Vic certainly believed in it. But I think it wasn't until like I don't know July, the month after release that we really sort of saw how people took to it. Like, that was one of the concerns that my partner Nikhil, he's my PM partner, he and I both had this concern that people wouldn't get Hangouts. Like I think like you guys kind of get it. This social gathering, it's not directed. It's sort of serendipitous, but it has the ability to have this invite model. But like people come and go. It's free form, very democratic. Like the spirit of Hangouts, we were afraid that people wouldn't really get that, and that people would just sort of say, it's a video conference tool, and one without a strong invite model, and then they would sort of dismiss it or just be frustrated with it. So we were afraid that it would be just seen as video conference, and it would miss the spirit. But I think that the thing that I remember after we launched, like 2 days after we launched, Nikhil and I sat down and it's like, wow, people really get it. They get the model, and that sort of gave us a lot of hope.
I do think there are a lot of people that are still kind of grasping at the edges of it and trying to see how the kind of model fits in. The analogy I always make about Hangouts is it's not a private room somewhere. It's a table at a public cafe, and you can invite people to sit with you at the cafe, but it's still a public table, and you have to be conscious of that.
Yeah.
But there are people who want a private room.
Yeah, the way that sometimes we describe it is like you're sitting on your porch, and people wander by, and you see people wandering by and say hello, and then the thing kind of grows, or like a public park or something like that. Yeah.
Or you block them.
Well, the block is actually like the way that we designed that was like the model for Hangouts overall, and the way I think about stuff is what do people do in real life, or like, and how do you facilitate that happening? So if you're at a club and there's a jerk, like what do? At the end, you kind of ignore him and hope he goes away, right? And so the way we designed block was really ignore. I mean, internally we like talked about as talk to the hand, and the UI that we had was a hand, right? So it was talk to the hand. So that's how we kind of design things.
Now, the API, not the APIs, the apps that are currently in this Hangout, are those all designed by you guys, or are they designed by various other people?
Let me take a look at the apps. YouTube we did, Docs we did, Aces did Hangouts, Scoot Doodle did Scoot Doodle, Effects we did, Kakoo did the app, SlideShare did the app, Bravo did the app. So we did 1, 2, 3 of the apps.
No, I mean,
Anthony, about 2 months ago, maybe it was 3 months ago, Chee had put out a notice saying, hey, does anybody have any apps that are close to completion that you'd like to show off someday? And I know I replied to it saying, yeah, I'm working on something, maybe I'm getting close. And obviously it wasn't, didn't pass the mark.
He's pretty sneaky.
But the reason that I ask, and I'll generalize this because you didn't design the app that I'm talking about, but on the Scoot and Doodle one, I was doing it with a friend, and I noticed that at least on his end, he was using a Mac, and he was only getting a black screen, but I was seeing what he was drawing, even though he couldn't see what he was drawing. And basically, the question is, have you noticed that there's platform incompatibilities with the API? Or is this a bad programming issue?
To me, that almost sounds like they were using a browser that didn't support the canvas correctly, or didn't support some element that was being assumed there.
Right, that does sound like a canvas issue, and that's not. We don't. Our API set is rather simple. We try to provide only the APIs that really are necessary to coordinate the Hangout, really Hangout-specific stuff. So like the canvas and all that, we want the browser to use default normal browser functionality to do. The Scoot and Doodle, that one is an issue. I haven't seen that, but that would be a bug I will report to Scoot and Doodle.
Okay. When Vic said in his interview just recently that the delay on the API was because we want to make sure it was right, how much of that was that? Was that a bluff? Or was that legit?
Well, no. Vic was talking about the right API to the rest of Google+.
Okay.
I don't remember what he said. The API, like we were hoping to launch the API platform just a little bit earlier, not a whole lot. But you know, we waited till we thought everything was lined up and ready. You know, I think that's one of the things I do appreciate like about Google is that we'll wait a bit extra in order to sort of get comfortable with the code. That's also why we don't announce release dates in general. So like, you know, you have more leeway to go when things are ready to go.
Hint about them. You send messages to Oleg and hint about them.
Actually, that is one of the fun things to do in the Hangout office hours with the Hangout team. David is very good about not telling us anything, but about strongly hinting that we should pay attention to what's coming up in the next week or month or so. But he always just teases us like that. Someone will say,
that's good enough, Alan. That's good enough.
That's cool. It's like CIA stuff, MI5.
That's good enough. That's more than enough.
Are you in your office, Chee?
Of course.
No, I'm at home.
Tell?
I'm at home.
In Kirkland, that's how big their offices are. In Kirkland, I'm telling you, Kirkland rules the world. You guys just don't realize it.
Have you been to our Kirkland offices, though, like?
I haven't, but I'm 15 minutes away from you guys.
Oh, yeah? Well, you should stop by sometime.
You should bring a camera, Oleg, and do a little
What happens when I hit
tour.
the front desk? Should I ask for anybody specific, or just say that this is Oleg and they'll let me in? No, actually, I came in two times. One time I have a restaurant ordering business. So one time there was a delivery. My driver was sick. It was actually to one of your buildings. So I brought the food in, but they didn't let me go too far. And then the second time I came for one of the focus groups, and so I was led through this little maze of white walls and doors, and I was in this one room and I didn't see anything else. I'd love to come see it. I'd love to.
Hey, Oleg, I had a phone call today from Kirtland that showed up on my phone. I'm like, uh-oh, Oleg's found my phone number and is tracking me down.
Exactly. No, but seriously, Chee, do you guys have any kind of tours or anything like some other big companies do?
Maybe you guys can have a private post about this stuff.
No, we don't. We don't have a formal tour. Although, like when folks come up and all, we give a quick tour of the office.
Gotcha.
Chee, our campus is very small.
Gotcha. I drive by there almost every day, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Chee, thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you very much. Very nice to talk to you.
Hope to see you Friday.
A lot of family time with us. Thanks, Chee.
See you guys later.
Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
That was
awesome.
awesome.
It's so freaking late here.
Now, you guys tell me which other company does this kind of stuff. All of you Google bashers last
week. Oleg, I have never once said that Google is not a class company.
We don't see any Google bashers.
You guys, you should listen to your last show and see how much you beat up on Google, and then tell me.
We are honest critics.
We were not beating up on Google.
Yeah. Oleg thinks it is that we are criticizing Google. We're beating up Google. But
you guys, no, Srik, you didn't do too much, but most of the Dan and company definitely did that.
Dan and company.
It's on tape.
Okay, I can agree to that.
That was great for him to pop in like that.
It was. It was excellent, yes.
Did one of you guys invite him, or did he find it?
I invited him and Vic.
Not today, though. Did you today? Dan?
I invited him a few minutes before he came.
Ah, you did. Okay. Because I thought you just saw my name and you figured you better join.
Vic started a Hangout about 10 minutes. When did I send the message? Vic started a Hangout of his own as well.
I saw they were both online because when I did the invite button, it shows pictures of people online, and so I clicked, a few of them.
If Chew could join on, Friday, it'll be interesting.
That was fascinating about
the guy
Hangouts
definitely
started.
Absolutely. And the guy is you can see how nice of a guy he is.
Yeah, he is. And he is pretty good at answering without giving up anything,
He's not Robert Scoble, that's for sure.
And that seems to be the mindset of of everyone that works there, is that they're very at least the ones that show up, I guess, obviously, and they're very personable.
No, but Anthony, don't forget, he's not just a Googler guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's the director of...
He's the guy in charge of all the Hangouts, exactly. I mean, this is no small guy.
Director of engineering, I think, right? I mean, I think he's the Google director of engineering.
For Hangouts, or?
I think he's just in charge of the Hangouts. I mean, I don't know what the exact...
I don't think so, but I mean, I don't want to talk about our guest after he leaves or whatever.
Right.
But
at least
he's a big deal.
All of you should have asked him, where are you guys going with the Hangouts?
No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop by the office one of these days, and I'm going to see if he's available to just come say hi.
Just send him a private post, obviously, and
She is the engineering director helping with Google Plus Hangouts.
Do you guys all use the Chrome browser?
He is the Googler in Kirtland, Seattle. So he's not the chief engineer. I'm pretty sure that's Yongatan. I have no idea how he pronounces his name. Is the chief engineer.
He's definitely the head Hangout dude in charge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Yang is an awesome guy on his own.
It was amazing to know the story behind it, right? I mean,
it is.
That's the clip. I mean
that you should definitely make a special deal about that. I mean, almost maybe cut it out in a separate video.
Yeah, that was the first time I could hear total silence in the room. Everybody was like,
"Yeah, it's like Huffington Post stuff there." I could just picture Vic sipping his wine.
I want you guys to understand the importance of Kirkland here.
Oh yeah,
awesome! It's good for you. Isn't that where Costco's from?
It is. Costco, Boeing, Microsoft.
And that's why their house label is Kirkland.
Exactly.
Kirkland signature.
Yeah.
In fact, Dan, the story which originally we heard, how Sergey kind of liked it and wanted to do it, is true. But the real...
Similar, not exactly, but yeah. And if Sergey ever shows up at the show, Dan, I'm going to switch to Russian.
Oh.
I'm just going to talk to Russian to the guy.
Here's a threat.
Yep.
From George in the comments, George asked when the holodeck interface was coming out, and she replied to him, "Sorry, but I can't comment on future plans."
There we go.
That's a good answer.
Who answered that?
Chee.
Oh, okay.
George also made another suggestion, which I'm going to threaten Dan if he even considers it. Oleg and I will personally come drown you.
Exactly.
He's totally probably watching this as we gossip about him, like any human being would. Chee, I look for you Friday night.
If you're watching this.
5:15 p.m., 5:10 p.m. or whatever, and I'm going to promote it. So
he's probably having his dinner, watching us guys.
Oh, he totally knows we're talking about him.
I'm glad that he took the time. I'm glad that he took the time to spend with us. That was really great. But
absolutely,
I hope he spends time with his family too, and I'm sure he will.
Actually, it was pretty nice that he said that what Alan said is possible. Embedding iframes with content from third-party websites, or that puts the onus back on Alan to deliver in 2 weeks?
Well, I'll tell you what. If somebody can find me something that runs inside an iframe, I will put it inside an iframe for us.
Okay, I'll come up with something, Alan.
If you can find that, Oleg, I'm more than happy to do it.
Yeah, let me get some. We'll just try it as a test. Not necessarily to go live or anything, but let's give it a shot and see how well it works out.
Right.
Anyway, it's time for kids to go to bed, which means I need to peel out of here. So it was very nice talking to you, everybody, and see you on Friday.
Bye, Oleg.
Have a good evening.
The pleasure as always, Oleg.
Yeah.
It is so freaking late here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm in the same time zone as you are.
I've been up since 5:30 a.m. And it's after midnight here.
Are you recording this?
So
This is this is live on air, and it'll be sent up to my YouTube page.
And I'm totally behaving.
And there's Bowie.
We're very proud of you, Bowie.
We're live from Vancouver.
Yeah, you behaved, Bowie. How did that happen?
Well,
Why wouldn't he be?
I know when to shut up. I know when to put the filter on.
I appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, just tell me when you fuck. How's everyone doing, though? I haven't been on here for a while. The whole app thing's new to me, too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's neat.
You do look taller. No, I'm serious.
The lighting.
I'm not trying to.
I'm in the same chair I'm in every night. I just have a brown background.
Well, that's it. We now have this app that stretches, Dan.
Yeah, that's why I asked
the glasses? Is it the glasses?
That's why I asked them.
Shorter without glasses?
I don't know about yet. I'm still taller than you. I'm just saying. Just want to throw that out there.
I'm just glad you have more clothes on since the last time we saw you in the show.
Lots of clothes on.
No, you popped in. You were, I don't know if you were wearing anything. I mean, from the video.
I'm not a creep, man. I wouldn't go into a hangout with no shirt on.
You want the stills?
Yeah.
I think Dan is talking about the one he left running the whole night, right?
It was
that
I
one?
forget what it was.
Yeah, the extension of, you just left after.
It was the after party. Yeah. That's the one thing I like. I really like about. That's my main criticism of Hangouts on Air is you can't invite public. But I'm glad Chee said that we can't get in trouble if we post a link for people to join, because with the regular Hangouts you can just open it up to anybody, and that's how I've met all of you folks, by just opening it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The one downside to that is that Hangout Canopy won't pick up that URL, but I think you need to talk to Robert.
No, it picked it up. That's how I found you guys.
Hangout, well, because you were invited to this one.
Was I?
Right.
No, I picked it up. It popped up and it says Dan. I was following Dan. Right. So in the Hangout, I was following.
Hangout Canopy would pick it up because. Well, I mean, Hangout Canopy would pick it up because someone that's in it is, like, if I'm in Hangout Canopy...
We're talking Hangouts on Air.
Yeah. So in my Hangout Canopy, I have it set so that I'm watching Dan. So whenever Dan's in
Hangout Canopy sees Hangouts
like
on Air that you're in.
Only if you're invited to it, because you've got no way to get into it otherwise.
It popped up like that, and I saw Dan. I said,
right, because Dan invited.
So if Hangout Canopy is showing it on my screen, but Bowie hasn't been invited, it wouldn't show up on his Hangout Canopy? Is that what you were saying?
Correct.
Because I didn't get an invite anywhere.
I invited my extended circles, and you're in my circles.
Okay.
So, and I said I invited, circles and extended circles, but it won't let me click public. So you would have gotten that. Anybody who I'm following, like you, would show it in their stream if you just randomly were there, watching.
So,
Hangout Canopy.
Have you noticed that it's more responsive lately, Alan?
What?
It's working better. Like,
you mean there's something in the stream that's actually working?
It's totally different. Like the stream, I'll go in there and I'll see people who are. It's more relevant to me. When I first, like, if I open a new tab or a window.
Dan, you mean the stream as a whole? You're serious, right?
Okay, I'm getting set up here, but yeah.
No, I'm just amazed because, like, Ermine, as she just mentioned in the chat, is flooded with people. Well, I think Ermine's problem was that a bunch of people haven't been showing up in her stream. I've got at least 2 examples of people who were getting stuff flowing through their stream from people they never circled, and they have no clue who they are.
I don't know about that. I know when I first go to my stream, my not clicking on circles, but just my main stream,
right.
Like I just type plus.google.com, I will see older posts, almost like looking at a what's hot list or something, of people I circle, though. And I'll see, like, you and Oleg and Anthony or whoever, right? And then if I leave it open, I'll see the regular, by time stream as things pop up.
Are you saying that people who interact with you regularly is shown on the top as opposed to...
Absolutely. Like something you might have posted at noon might be right at their top, even though there's no interaction in the last few minutes.
That's strange because I don't think they changed the algorithm of the streaming of the post.
I think they have because I haven't changed my slider. I think I adjusted the slider once the first day it came out and I haven't played with it.
I'm sure they've been jiggering with the stream. Unfortunately, it's been working really badly for everyone, a bunch of people I've talked to.
And if they did that, it's like very Facebook.
I've seen stuff showing up that, hadn't been touched in a month. We have Hermine's problem where posts aren't showing up at all. I mean, I made a post or two on this today, even. I believe it's called Bugs in the Stream if you want to go search for it.
You see, like, I had someone that, posted a comment to something I posted, like, I don't know, let's call it a month ago. And it showed up in my notifications, but I don't think I ever saw it show up in my actual stream as, popping back up to the top, like you're saying.
I have.
I'm not saying that you're not having that problem, because my stream's actually pretty small.
I think when you comment on, for example, Alan's discussion, post which I was having a huge discussion with somebody, whenever I comment on it, it increases in relevance and again pops up back to the top. How does that work? Is it based on the number of pluses it gets or the shares? Any idea?
Say that again?
The details are, as always, a mystery.
Right. It never used to do that before, if you notice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It did used to do it. I mean, sometimes it would pop it back up, but it's been happening more and more frequently.
Right.
And it does seem to be happening in ways that make sense.
I agree.
But it's also happening in ways that make no sense.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of algorithm they're using, but it sounds very Facebooky to me.
What's happening?
What was
I didn't catch the first part.
I said Facebooky. Facebook has this kind of showing up posts at the top depending on the relevance, and they kind of judge what is relevant to you based on their own algorithms. I don't know.
You miss a lot in Facebook.
Oh, that is because of the page rank, not the page rank, what's that? Edge rank algorithm.
Facebook won't let me log in.
Yeah, there are a lot of folks, you'll get no sympathy from that one guest we had who's banned.
I changed my password, and then I verified my email. Like they sent email, verified, clicked it, whatever. And then I try and log in, and they want me to verify my phone number. I don't have that phone anymore. But there's no option for me to change the phone number or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of screwed. I sent them an email like what's going on. They want me to send them my ID so I can prove that that name is really my name and I'm really that person. But my Facebook account is not my name. It says fudge your face. Not on my ID.
Does the picture match though?
My picture says move to Google.
Oh God, you're screwed. You're screwed.
I just want to log in. Like I haven't been on there for a long time. I just want to see what's going on. Tried to log in, change the password, and then I got screwed because I have no way. Like I tried every back door, every which way to bypass it. Almost didn't work.
That's funny. Yeah, that's a unique case.
I like the profile picture, though.
Yeah, I have to verify the phone number, and there's no way to change the phone number. My only option is to submit, continue, and I said there's no help, no nothing.
That's the only thing that I just wish all those people on Facebook were here, so I wouldn't have to go there. I mean,
well, I have my stream on my Google streamed over there, like burned over to my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to log in and see what's going on, right? Yeah, I can't do that. So now I got to delete that account because obviously my last name isn't Fudge Your Face. I don't get them, idiots. They really wanted me to take a photocopy of my ID and send it to them. That's like, really.
Did you just take a picture of your ID and send it to them? I mean, it's cool.
I don't want to send them my ID though. But either way, my name on my Facebook account, my last name is Fudge Your Face.
Get a whole bunch of people to report it. It's offensive.
Right? But I already verified my email. Why do I have to verify my phone number now?
I'm going to invite Mark Zuckerberg into the Hangout so you can...
Tell me he's a douchebag?
No. We don't use that kind of language in the...
But I'm not swearing.
I'll get in trouble.
I'm still keeping PG filter, so... Just for you, Dan. Love you.
I'm going to invite him.
Is he even on here?
I'm sure he's going to pop in since he's never...
Ever been invited to a Hangout?
I just invited him to a Hangout. So you can personally please your case.
You'll be in about 3 seconds, right?
Count them. 3.
It will really... None of these guys are going to sleep if Zuckerberg just comes in now.
Let me see if I can even find my the email that Facebook sent me.
I just watched The Social Network today.
Oh, that's a great movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You know, I liked it I liked it a lot the first time, and I just didn't feel it this time.
Was this before or after you started on Google+?
The first... Well, when did the movie come out?
Okay, guys, it is massively late here, and I actually still want to test my Hangout app this evening before I go to sleep.
Alan, it was a pleasure chatting with you tonight.
This has been yet another incredible evening. So I hope to have...
How do I describe this?
What?
We went way beyond, like, cool new apps. I mean, I don't know how to describe this when I post the video.
It's a Hangout. That's how you describe it.
Just random Hangout, you know?
No, you gotta put some kind of, surprise or surprise. Go through it, whatever.
But, I mean, that...
You want us to call you Alan or prisoner still? 'Cause I remember...
it's still prisoner, just, they forget every so often.
He called you Alan, so...
Yeah, I've been letting him get away with it.
Dan.
Sorry, Priz.
Disrespect.
I think, Dan, you can say it's just a Hangout, but you might find a few good surprises in there.
Well, obviously you have to mention...
On that note...
Chee, you get a whole bunch...
I'm changing my name, right? Like legally changing my name. As I swear to God, I got my girlfriend's permission. She says, yeah, you can do it. It's all good. My middle name's going to be awesome.
Peter had a good conversation with him about
the go on that note. Have a good evening, everybody.
I'm not that bad.
Thank you, Alan. Thanks, Priz.
NG. Her last name is Fok, F-O-K. Dude. Hyphenate that. The possibilities. Last name, Fok. Last name, Ing. Hyphenate, Fok, Ing. Middle name, awesome. Oh my God. Leave it at that.
You are definitely unique.
It's going to be awesome, man.
I'm going to go, Dan.
All right, Sri. I guess
this is fun. This unscheduled Hangouts is fun. We're going to test that. Check with that guy. You're going to have the... What's that site called? I forgot the name of that application completely.
Let me check. See if I've got the email yet. He said he's going to send me the URL tonight.
Right.
Talking about?
Yeah, I mean it'll be very interesting. If I'm gonna be here after 9:30 EST tomorrow.
It's EDT now.
What's that?
It's EDT now. So it's switched, right?
Yeah, right. So, right. So we should give it a spin. I'm pretty sure we'll find it not as good as Hangout. I sometimes just try to think where they're gonna go with this Hangouts. Is it going to be completely app-oriented and extension-oriented, or are they going to add new features to Hangout as such?
Well, I'm gonna paste the email that Facebook sent me in the chat.
Anyway, I'm going to go now.
Y'all want to see it.
Yeah, it'll be fun to try that out. All right, Sariq, have a good one, buddy.
You go.
Hey, man.
Bye.
You're good.
Bye.
Good.
All right, so what's it say here?
Are you reading the email Facebook sent me?
Yeah, you were asked to confirm who you are because our security systems thought you may not be using your real identity with this account,
Yeah, no shit.
or that you may have multiple accounts. If you've already tried to log in and follow instructions to confirm your identity but weren't able to complete the process, we'll need to see other proof of your identity. Here's how to proceed. Use a scanner or take, oh God, I lost my mouse there.
Is there anybody else who I was kind of bothered by. I didn't know that Facebook also had a real names.
Yeah, they've had it at least as long as Google has.
I don't think they want multiple accounts, right?
They don't want multiple accounts. They don't want fake names. There's probably like 10 other things they don't want.
I think that my name really is Mike Fudge Your Face. I really don't know.
I mean, it's not a common name.
Not even a name. Who would name their kid Fudge Your Face?
Wolfman Jack, or, you know, there's...
I'm curious as to how they flag accounts, because I have multiple friends that
they didn't flag my account. I just changed my password, and then I had to log in again. I got that. I had to verify my email and my phone number.
That's interesting.
You gotta love the computers.
All right, well, this is fun. I got to crash. I've been up since 5:30.
I want to talk to you, Dad.
What are you doing?
What?
Bowie, when are you going to join us again for the show or something?
The next show, Friday?
Friday.
Let's see, Friday.
What time is it in Vancouver right now? It's
9:47.
It's 9:47 p.m.
Well, I think I might have a meeting with the lawyer on Friday. Maybe. If I don't, I'll join. Not, I don't know.
Is it 9 p.m.? I mean, 9:47 p.m.?
Yeah.
So it's 3 hours behind us.
I'm still in the same continent as you, dude.
I know, but like Brad in Australia is like, it's
That's
like
a different continent. I'm saying I'm not in the same continent as you.
Tomorrow afternoon or some insane thing there.
Yeah. How you been, though, man? Anything new?
Good.
Anything you want to update with? Are you still recording Eric live right now?
This is still broadcasting, yeah.
Want to jump in a private hangout real quick? I'll give you an update what's going on.
No, you guys just stay here. I'll head off.
No. This is being
I can't
recorded and the whole deal.
Have a good one.
All right, have a good one. All right, let me. Thanks to everyone watching. Or you just want to text me or something? All right, well, let me end this.
It's a big ass long story. You gonna love the story, dude.
I'll start a private hangout so you can tell.
All right. Invite me.
Everyone watching. Bye.
Bye. Be good. Be awesome. And I'm awesome. Dan Sue. I'm taller than Dad. Later.